when we're coming to a conversation to talk to somebody about what's best for their business, we can actually help them because we've been there. What's the best way to fucking close a client? It's fucking open up a store that's freaking doing $1 million a month in sales. And then say, this is actually my store. It brings another level of credibility and authority to a conversation because now you're equals.
Yo, welcome back to the 4Media Uncut podcast. Today we have two very, very special guests from WKND Digital, Mr. Tommy Patterson and Brandon Fink.
Yeah, what I love about these two guys is they're really expanding the game. They're changing the game. They're not playing it the same rules that everyone else has played, and they're doing things a little bit differently. For reference, they actually own an agency out on the West Coast, and now in a few other locations, as you'll kind of hear from this conversation. Really cool guys, just really doing amazing things, made insane money in 2020, and just found ways to carry that momentum forward, establish multiple 8-figure brands, 8-figure revenue sources. I'm not going to spoil too much, but I hope you guys enjoy. Get your notepads ready because your brain is about to expand. Sean Penn. A gift from us
Agency
to you
founders.
for making it out.
Thank you.
For speaking
Very
at the
much.
event.
Should I open it on camera?
Open. It's not a big deal. You don't have to react or anything.
No, I will.
We just thought it was a really cool idea. We think you'd like it a lot.
Cool. Oh my God.
It's pretty fucking good, yeah.
Hold it up. We're going to see the comparison.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking
Dude, I gotta take a picture of this. I gotta take a picture.
Bro, yours was like one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, let me get this. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I love it, bro.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Thank you, bro.
Yours turned out like really, really good. Yours turned out like one of the best for sure.
That is epic. Thank you so much. That's
That
is like the best like gift to give someone for like this is fucking clever.
Appreciate it.
Kudos.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Damn.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
We keep this pretty casual.
Yeah.
So before we even get started, you two are very special individuals in your own ways. We'd like to kind of just know a little bit about your past. Like people listening probably maybe don't know who you are. Like give us, and we go back, by the way. So Tommy, you're a little bit older, right? You're 40?
I'm 55.
55. Okay, so he's a little younger than I thought.
No, I'm 40.
40.
I was gonna say, I was like, you almost had me for a second, and I was like, there's no fucking way you're.
Yeah, I'm
55.
taking this new pill. You can get it at this website.
That's too good. You're a billionaire.
This website.com.
It's called thiswebsite.com.
How old are you?
30.
30. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So exactly. So you're
10
so like
years.
basically take us back. We'll start with you, and then we'll jump to Brandon, and then we'll kind of mix it in together. Like take us back to like you're to me at least from the outside. You know, you have the things that a lot of people really, really want in life. Mm-hmm. You know, past financials and cars and things like that. You know, a lot of people want to be really big about their family, their wife, their kids, their energy that they bring to the table. You know, these are very rare qualities, more than the cars. You know, everyone can attain the cars, but the other stuff. So I'd love to know, like, you know, like who were you like in high school? Did you go to college? What did that look like? And how did those 15 years progress on a mass scale to shape
life.
who you are now?
Yeah, 100%. So I'm Tommy Patterson.
We'll do like kind of a official introduction.
Okay,
in
so
the
don't worry
intro,
about that.
but you can still tell us who you are.
Yeah, well, I'm Tommy Patterson, you know, founder and CEO of WKND Digital. And yeah, like, so actually, you know, my past and how I kind of grew up and, you know, everything that I experienced in my life was, you know, everybody has their own story and has their own challenges. But, you know, I grew up very poor. And I grew up in California, and then I moved to Texas, and military family. Came from a military family. I moved every single year of my life. I was never at the same school. I actually didn't graduate high school. I got to my senior year, and I actually technically walked, but I didn't have enough credits. But yeah, I mean, personality-wise, like I've always been this way, man. Like I'm just a hyped individual. You know, I was actually a child actor. Oddly
Really?
enough. Yeah, 100%.
What kind of
That's
stuff
sick.
did you do?
So I did a couple low budget commercials, like a Mr. Gaddy's commercial, Mr. Gaddy's Pizza commercial. I was in Children of the Corn as a featured extra.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. My
So
brother's.
you were a child of the corn?
I was a child of the corn. I was actually in the background. I did some music videos, like when I was I was in the Pink music video.
That's sick.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I was also a Husky model, so I was a fat kid model, which is pretty epic.
That's too funny.
Yeah, so I
amazing.
for Arizona jeans and JC Penney's.
Stop.
Like, I swear to God, like all of them. So like you'd
That's
walk
sick.
into JC Penney's and then you'd look up and then you'd see a little Husky kid wearing some Arizona jeans with a
Oh
big
my
smile. And
God.
I was like,
stop.
That's amazing. Just like the bobblehead.
dude, 100%. Yeah, but as far as like how I've been raised, like let me take a step back. So aside from having a challenging childhood, which I think everybody has their own things that they go through in life, so I don't want that to be like an excuse as to how I turned out. Everybody goes through life their own way, and they have these things that happen to them that they have to respond to. And for me, like when I grew up, like I had a lot of traumatic things that happened to me that made me know exactly what kind of life I didn't want to have when I was older. A specific example was, when I was 9 years old, we got evicted from our apartment. We had the sheriffs come literally throw out all of our stuff on the road. I remember sitting there on the curb with my younger twin brothers. I have two younger twin brothers, and my mom, and my mom's like crying, right? And I remember like this, like just so vividly, like saying like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm never going to let this happen to my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like saying that, like, and like at that time, like full on, this is not going to be my life. Right. And so, as I progressed, I wasn't a good student. Like I was like a funny guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, everybody liked me. I got along with everybody. In high school, I was actually the commissioner of assembly. So like I did all the pep rallies. Like, so I'd go out, I would hype,
100%.
I would hype up everyone at high school. I would do the football games, like, you know what I mean? But like I was very poor academics because I had no structure, right? And it wasn't that I didn't grow up in a loving home, but I grew up in a home that really was very, very dysfunctional. We had a lot of financial challenges and things that when you're young, you don't really understand, but they affect you and they really shape who you become as a person. And then after high school, I basically went into sales. I got a job at 24 Hour Fitness. Was the first job that I can actually like remember where it was like serious. And then I learned how to sell. And I mean, at 17 years old, I went to Anthony Robbins at 17 years old.
17's young for that.
and
23 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 23 years ago. Fuck.
Son of a bitch. So this was 99. Tony Robbins has been doing this for a minute.
Dude, he's been doing it for like 100 years. Yeah, so I went to Tony Robbins, and then the next year, I went to Brian Tracy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with
100%,
Brian.
right.
He's a GOAT, right? Like
Yeah.
he's one of the legends. And I basically discovered self-help by myself.
You self-helped yourself into self-help?
I did, man. I really did. And that shit changed my life. Like, I mean, instantly at a young age, like just going from no structure, like thinking about everything, like, why is this happening to me in my life? And when you have that kind of mentality, you're like asking the wrong questions, right? Because it's not like, why is it happening? It's what is this trying to teach me? Like, right. And learning how to shift that mentality to where it's like, yo, I can do anything in this world. It's just a matter of, do you want to do it? Right. And so those were really formative years.
This is 18, 19, 20.
This is 18, 19, 20. Right. And then from there, I went into timeshare sales. So I sold timeshares. Are you guys familiar with timeshares?
Very
Yeah.
familiar, yeah.
What location?
Pacific Grand Monarch was the company. And dude, and here's another thing. because of my personality and who I am, like, I'm just like, people like me. I'm very naturally persuasive.
You could sell a vacation home, that's for sure.
100%. Dude, I was top.
You are the vacation.
Absolutely. So I've just like, sales and marketing comes very naturally to me just because of my personality. And so I very quickly became the #1 timeshare salesperson in that organization.
Which is a huge deal.
Dude.
There's a lot of timeshare people probably in that organization.
At like 19 years old.
That's wild.
Then from there, I went into mortgages, destroyed that, like made a lot of money.
Why didn't you stay in that?
Well, so here's the thing. When you grow up with no structure, right? When you're not taught like the important things in life, like saving, like, how to actually build wealth. Like, Tony at that time was really more about like, he talked about it, but like you had to apply it for it to work, right? And when you're young and you come from nothing and then you get a lot of money, you spend that shit faster than you get it, right? And so I had this stage where I went through where I was making like ridiculous money in my 20s, but it was going out faster than it came in. And really,
What were you spending it on? Just all kinds of stuff?
Well, I mean, can I say, can we curse on
Yeah,
this?
fuck yeah.
It's called uncut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, look, I started making, put it this way. I went through.
We're not judging the 20-year-old Tommy.
Okay, good. I went through 120 days as a junior LO, and my first month as a loan officer, I made $42,000.
That's insane.
Damn.
Right? And
That's stupid.
And, I was also young, ridiculously good looking, right? I was in shape, right? Like, and dude, I was a player, dude. Like, at that time in my life, it was like freaking let's bang chicks, let's freaking like let's party, let's and
Best case, your friends went off to college and you're
living the
42
lifestyle
grand.
and you had 42 grand in your bank account.
yeah,
And
like
you're a Husky model, like
dude,
that's a flex.
and I was a recovering Husky model. So yeah, man. And then that led me to mortgage. And so to answer your question about the mortgage thing, like what happened to the mortgage thing is I did that for a long time. But I made a lot of poor life decisions. You know what I mean? Like partying was my life, right?
For how long?
For till 26, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean,
Bachelor years.
You want to hear it? You want to hear another crazy story?
Yeah.
I think I told Kyle this story. I think I told Brandon. So basically, how I ended up. And this is, I was from Orange County, migrated to Los Angeles, Orange County to Los Angeles to Sacramento. And essentially, the way that I ended up in Sacramento was, this is right in 2008. Bear Stearns just went under. Arthur Andersen just went under. This is like the financial collapse, like 2008, 2009. And this is a crazy story because all this happened like in like a 7-week period. I lost my job. I had like probably over, I don't remember the exact number, but well over $1 million pipeline gone like that. No income, wasn't saving anything.
Lived expensively.
Well beyond my means.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, well beyond my means. Instantly, house was the next domino, like my house, okay?
Yeah.
Cars, right? In that time frame, I also found out that I'm a new father with a rando.
Whoa.
Right?
Damn.
And yeah, like so.
Wake up call for sure.
Wake up kid with someone that I didn't really have a relationship with. It was kind of like a booty call thing.
Yeah.
And how that whole thing happened was I actually went to Vegas for I was supposed to go there for 2 days. I ended up staying for 2 weeks. Blew all my money, and dude, I was doing cocaine. I mean, it was amazing.
Of course.
Best
2
time.
weeks in Vegas.
Best.
You don't extend a 2-day to 2-week trip.
Dude,
Yeah, without some cocaine-fueled escapades.
I think I was actually up for 2 weeks straight. It was fucking incredible. And at this time I was engaged. And so this is, you know, I'm like much older than you guys. So like, this is like pre-internet. This is like when the internet like started, like, you know what I mean? I mean, I think it was out, but like, this is when social platforms were just starting.
That's wild.
Yeah. So
you said like 2008, 2009.
Yeah. So back then, like I think there was like fucking Friendster or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think Facebook, I think Facebook just came out when this happened.
No.
And not only that,
Instagram just came out.
And not
I
only
think Facebook came out in 2008.
Really?
Yeah.
And not only that, but smartphones
YouTube didn't even
really
exist.
a thing.
No, they didn't, dude. They didn't. It was BlackBerry back then.
Yeah,
it was,
BlackBerry
and it
was
was
the big
the
thing.
it was the Edge that flipped over the little.
Yeah,
type.
and the
No,
first,
I know. Yeah, that
was
was one of my favorite phones.
Yeah, it was a dope phone. That was
Yeah.
a sick phone.
'Cause
It was called the Sidekick, actually.
the
That's what it
Sidekick
is.
was
It
the
was a
best.
T-Mobile
It flipped
Sidekick.
open.
Yeah,
the T-Mobile
dude.
Sidekick, and you had the
Yeah.
QWERTY keyboard underneath.
Oh man, that shit was gangster.
That was a game changer, and then that introduced Androids with keyboards like that.
Yep. And then it started the whole keyboard trend.
Yeah,
Which was
and-
a sick trend. I like that.
No,
trend.
it was sick
I do. I
because
think it's gonna. We're gonna bring it back.
honestly, having the physical keyboard was sick because you could just like text under the table and like no one even knew. Now, you know, it's pretty good with the muscle memory, but you still fudge a few words here and there. But with those keys, you were like dead on. You know, it's just like typing on the computer.
100%. Yeah, and so was in Vegas at that time. I was living with my girlfriend Janine, who was a celebrity hairstylist. She had like 3 salons. She was killing it.
This is a different girl, right?
This is a different girl.
Okay.
Yeah, and
You were engaged though.
Yes, I was engaged.
Okay.
Dude, I was engaged, but I was not faithful back in these days.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, you know, I was
You're like, I went to Vegas for 2 weeks with a stripper. I was engaged at the time.
so you know, what happened? I was at Club Rehab at the Hard Rock Cafe, and I would literally there for like 2 weeks, like every day at the pool, like every day with my boys, and like I would have different boys that would like come to Vegas and then leave, right? And so I just had this influx going through. But back then, and so I was just making out with chicks, and what they used to do is they used to take pictures of people and then upload them to the website, right? Like they didn't put it on social media.
Yeah.
This is on their website.
This is on their website. So what happened was I finally am coming back to Los Angeles, right? I'm pulling up with my best friend Sean, and we're at this time I lived in the Artist Loft Brewery downtown Los Angeles, and I'm pulling up and I literally see all of my belongings in front of our loft.
No way.
Everything. And literally when I'm pulling up, there is two bums walking off with my flat screen television.
Stop.
No.
Yes, absolutely. No shit. This is a true story.
Did you yell at them or just let them go?
No, dude, I was like, what the fuck is going on? So my fiance, well, dude, and also keep in mind, I've been on
It's like a movie.
I've been on a bend, dude, it is a movie. I've been on a bender for 2 weeks. I've basically been up, like fucking blown out of my fucking mind. I don't even
You're
know.
ready to hit the bed right now.
Yes, for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go to bed for 2 weeks.
You gotta catch up.
So my stuff is all thrown out. My fiance at the time went to the website, and she was like seeing me hooking up with all these girls this entire time I'm in Vegas.
Why was she going to the web? Like, how did she know the website?
Because she knew I was in Vegas.
Oh, so she was just looking
Yeah.
on all the websites, or she knew that?
No.
club or
I was
okay,
going to
okay.
like at this time. I'm being deceitful. I'm like, yo, I'm at the Hard Rock. I'm with my friends. It's all good. Like, I love you. Like,
Yeah, and then
you
she
know what I mean?
sees that goes. On
But
the
then every
website.
day, there's like literally like me making out with like a new chick on the fucking
Stop.
on the website.
You had no idea about
I
the
had no
website. You're just like, yeah.
It's actually the most absurd scenario. Bro.
Oh, dude, it's so fucked.
How many people got fucked by the internet that
Oh
like
my
just didn't even know
God.
that it existed at the time and shit? You
Yeah,
know?
so that happened, dude, and you know,
They
essentially,
told on you.
yeah. So then right after that, so like this actually happened in the same week, and then after that, I basically didn't have a place to live, so I'm like, now I'm gonna go sleep at my friend Sean's house. Then on the way to going to Sean's house, I get a call, excuse me, from Deanna's sister, who is Dakota, who's my daughter, is her sister, and basically saying like, hey, do you want to come meet your daughter? And then I get a text message of this little ugly looking alien that looks exactly fucking like me. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm not
Is this
joking.
all in, like, what
this
time
is all in
span?
like this is all like
7 weeks, you said?
7 weeks.
So you got a text message
So I basically,
with that?
oh,
So you got fucked by the internet, and then you also got fucked by a text message.
I got fucked by a text message. And so all of this is happening in this very short amount of time. And you know, at like 26, I basically had like a midlife crisis. And I found out that I had a kid. And then within 6 months, I was just like, fuck, man, I need to get my shit together. Like, you know what I mean? I had a epiphany of like, I'm doing exactly what I didn't want to have, happen in my life. I'm like destroying my life, right? And then that's when I migrated to Sacramento. I had a kid, and here's the worst part. Unfortunately, Dakota's mom, she had a substance abuse issue at that time as well. She basically like had this child, and then within 6 months was out of the picture. And so I basically had full custody of a child by myself that I wasn't planning on having. And
6 months ago, you didn't even know they existed.
100%.
Wow.
100%. So, and what do you do in that situation? You
At the
fucking
lowest
call
point of
mom,
your
dude.
life.
Like, mom, what the fuck do I do? And so I moved to Sacramento, and that honestly, my daughter like would change my life. Like that was like the wake up call. I was like, okay, I got sober for 2 years, like straight, like just at that time. I moved to Sacramento. At that time, mortgages were gone. So what did I do? Being a very highly skilled salesperson, I went into high balance bill collections for American Express.
Wow.
So now I was going and I started collecting on black cards for the same people that I was giving loans to fucking 3 or 4 months earlier. Yeah, crazy chain of events. And then from there, I met my wife. I'm giving you like super quick version of this.
Yeah.
This is a nice version though. It's
Yeah.
nice.
This is good.
It's got sprinkles of stories. you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like from there, I met my wife. I kind of had this moment where I was like, fuck, what am I doing? Like, when you're in these kinds of roles, right, these jobs, like these high impact, high pressure, high reward, but stressful as fuck. At that point I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to do this. I met my wife, Christy, who was like a nurse in California, like a critical care nurse in California. You make like $140,000 a year, like for working 3 days a week, like easy job.
Wow.
So she's like, maybe you should be a nurse. So at 30 years old, I got my GED.
Wow. You went back, finished your credits.
I got my GED at 30 years old. I enrolled in college, and I went to junior college for 3 years, basically. Which was the best thing that I ever did in my life. All A's, straight A's, because at that time in my life, I was ready to learn. Right? I had a reason to learn. I wanted to learn. And what that experience taught me, I think college is a crock of shit, but what I think college is really powerful for is actually teaching you how to learn things, right? Like the process of doing something and learning it and then repetitively going over it over and over and over, right? And so I did that for 3 years where I basically found out that I didn't want to be a nurse. And then I stumbled on YouTube one night and I saw a guy named James Stramko in Australia. Yo, James Stramko, what's up? You the GOAT. He was talking about digital marketing. At that time, I also had started a brand called I Am Beast Mode. And this is right when CrossFit was like popping off, like beginning of CrossFit. And I was like, dude, I'm going to start a clothing brand because I kind of want to be a nurse, but I don't really want to be a nurse. And like, I don't know what I want to do. So I took my student loan money at that time and I started a brand called I Am Beast Mode. And I started like just pushing shirts to CrossFit gyms. And then I found James Stramko and I went to a conference in Australia. I literally took money I didn't have. I put it on a credit card, went to Australia for a week. And then that's where I saw Ezra Firestone. And I saw Ezra Firestone. This is like 2014, 2015 or something. And I saw what this, guy who's like 5 years younger than me, like what he had just started Boom, like, and what he was able to do. And I had this like light bulb moment. I was like, fuck, dude, like this dude is doing it, like it like hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, dude, this guy is not doing anything that I can't do except that he's just choosing to do it.
Yeah.
That's a powerful
100%.
moment.
Right? Like, I was like, dude, like I can do this, like I can do this.
It's wild when you discover that for yourself, yeah?
100%. And I think we all kind of have that, like, because we go into these roles where we're like, kind of like, when you start something, you're insecure, right? Like it's a whole thing that I talk all the time about failing forward, right? Like you can't get good at something until you suck at it first.
Yeah.
Before you get good, before you become an expert. There's this whole period where you go through and you suck balls until
Until you stop sucking balls.
Until you stop
your
sucking
balls.
balls.
Get sucked.
I knew there was a joke in there somewhere. You nailed it.
100%, man. And yeah, man. And then that led me to I Am Becoming, which we were able to scale that to 8 figures, which led me to the agency, which led me to Brandon, which led me to Weekend Investments, which led me here today. So that's like kind of the Cliff Notes version of Tommy Patterson.
I love how you got to like 2013, and then 2013 to 2021 was 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, there's
we can get into that when we come together with Weekend.
Yeah, man. There's a lot there, but I mean, I think that the most important lesson, and I hope that anybody that's watching this is that, look, dude, I'm not doing anything that anyone else can't do. I was an uneducated, poor kid who stumbled onto some self-help,
learned sales
and marketing, which honestly, if there's any skill that I could recommend anyone to go all in on, and it doesn't matter if you're good, sales is something that you can become, you're never going to be as good as a natural, right? Someone who's gifted, but it is a learned skill, and it makes you so dangerous in everything else that you choose to do in your life, right? And so, again, you can do anything you want if you fucking put your mind to it. Like I've been able to do, and I want everybody to also hear this too, because what's so crazy about this is I've been grinding since 2013, and it's only in the last 24 months that I've really
reaped
the fruits of my labor, right? That grind has been relentless, right? Not easy, right? We all have been there. Stressful night, sleepless, how am I going to pay this, right? And with each new step that you take, right, with each new challenge that comes your way and you overcome it, you just get better and better, and you learn and grow and get better from that. So yeah, that's T Diddy. In about 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, boy.
All right, Brandon.
Wait. When did you start Weekend?
So
it was after your ecom brand, right?
No, well, we still have the brand.
No, I know, but which came first?
Yeah, no. So Weekend was an idea. So this was actually when I came to the conclusion that I didn't want to do I Am Becoming anymore. And it wasn't that I didn't. The brand was making money. It's always been, e-com is a tough game.
It's way harder than people think it is.
Way harder.
5 years ago, I get it.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like it's gotten way harder, too.
5 years ago, I totally get it, bro. I used to fucking find a product online, and you can make hundreds of thousands the next week.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those times it's not like that.
Yeah,
you gotta be smarter about it.
Yeah. Well, and it's still doable, but it's done differently.
It's done much differently. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, agreed. Where I got to was I realized that I had built this, we got it over 8 figures. I mean, I think that today between Amazon and total sales, total revenues in existence, well over $30 million.
Nice.
But the grind of that business for something that you're not passionate about was just why?
Yeah.
But then you also get to this point. This is also what's crazy about it is you get to this point in this business, and I'm going to talk about this actually, is that, where you build this machine that you can't stop because it keeps going, because you have you can't just stop the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
is a crazy thing to think about, because you get to this certain level where you're like, well, fuck, I got $1 million in inventory. I can't just liquidate it.
Exactly. You have to sell it, and then it's
there's
back.
all these things that now are forcing you. And so at that moment in time, I was like, man, I need to do something differently. And I also worked with a lot of agencies during that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
The hardest role to remove yourself from when you're building an e-commerce brand is the marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And depending on if you
because you're dependent on it at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I was a fucking gangster media buyer.
100%.
I'm
sure you're a gangster marketer just because you're good at sales, bro.
Yes. So so what would happen is I would hire these agencies, and I could never let go of the role, because they fucking couldn't beat my shit. You know what I mean? So why does it make sense for me to
downgrade,
pay somebody $20K a month to run my ads when they're making a marginal difference than what I could do fucking running at halftime while also running 20 employees, like doing all the other stuff that goes into
doing
business.
the actual business.
Right. And so that's where I had the epiphany. I'm like, yo, man, I'm in the wrong business because I'm working with these agencies.
You're on the wrong side of it.
Well, yeah. And also, I've been in Blue Ribbon Mastermind with Ezra. I think I've been in that mastermind for 5 years now, 4.5, 5 years. And, at that time I had people in the mastermind, like our creative has always been my thing. I'm a super creative person. I'm a musician. I'm an artist at heart.
You a rapper.
Yeah. I'm yo, for real though. But creative's always been my thing. So I was getting hit up by people to like say, hey, like who's doing your creatives? And I'm like, I'm doing them. So they're like, well, hey, could you do it for us? And so I think it was end of 2019 is where I came up with the idea. I remember it. I was driving back from Monterey with my wife. I was kind of super over I Am Becoming, and I was just like, dude, I think I'm gonna do this agency thing. I think I'm gonna try to do this while I have the brand. And she's like, you should do it, because you're good at it. And so from there, we just started doing like tiny. I wouldn't even say we were a real agency because we just started doing like tiny creative projects while I had my brand.
Call it freelancing.
Yeah, exactly. And then at this time, this is when I linked up with B-Dubs right here, Mr. Brandon Fink.
Wow, that early.
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know that. That's sick.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon is actually the only media buyer that has ever survived my wrath.
Well, actually, I didn't. I got fired.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, before you get there, take us back. How did you build up to that point where you guys like actually linked? Like, how did you get into marketing? What linked you to Tommy?
Can we tell this story?
We should, dude. We should. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I guess, like, do you want like backstory real quick on me?
Yeah, backstory.
So mine's not
Give
gonna be
us
as
the
long as
sauce.
Tom's. So, like, when I was a kid, I had basically 2 lives growing up. So my mom and my dad were separated. My dad has always been lower income. My mom, like, I would go from, like, this is not an exaggeration, sleeping in a camper or an unenclosed front porch one week, and then next week going to my mom's house, lakefront house. But what my mom had, so my stepdad was like really the biggest influence in my life to step in, right? If that makes sense, right? So like when I was 14, I had a truck. I was driving a trailer. I did food trailers, like no license, just driving.
14 years old, driving around.
Right, but like he taught me the value of like hard work. Like I had to go get the food, cook it, like everything. Like I did the entire operation. I made 50% of the profit. Like that's kind of how everything happened. So I learned from a young age. I was working with him since I was 10. Got my own trailer at 14. I was like going to my dad's house.
At 14, you got your own trailer. That's a big deal, dude.
In truck, right?
Yeah, that's
so
sick.
And I was making $1,000 a weekend, doing that.
Damn.
At 14.
At 14,
At 14.
making $1,000 in a
What
weekend
the
is
fuck?
insane.
That's insane.
It's like that you're a millionaire in the
Bro,
equivalent
he's a-
age.
Dude, I was buying RC. I was
You're
buying
a
fucking
billionaire.
RC cars. I was buying like paintball guns, right? Like everything.
Like other people couldn't buy their
Yeah.
kids that. Like Tommy's situation, you're like doing it on your own.
Exactly.
You're-
But
that's the
fucked up
equivalent
thing
of
though
doing
is,
cocaine and strippers at 14, buying paintball guns and
Yeah,
RC
yeah, yeah.
cars.
but then the fucked up thing is like the next week I'm going to my dad's house, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, so then I'm basically going to him and I'm buying Subway gift cards. I'm buying Walmart gift cards and saying, hey, mom sent this with me, right? So like we could like have groceries and we could like
Damn.
do this, right? And like my dad actually doesn't even know that's like true, right? Like
No
he's-
way.
You know what he does now?
Yeah, he does. He does
We're gonna
now.
send him
Wow.
the link. We're gonna send him the link.
That, he still does. He
has
doesn't
no
know
idea.
that,
Yeah, he has no idea.
dude. That's amazing, bro.
Yeah, he
Wow.
has no idea.
That says a lot about you.
I appreciate that. But yeah, so I mean, like that's kind of how I grew up. So I learned that, and then my stepdad, he had a stroke when I was 16, and my mom at that point in time, they had the 5th largest catering company in Charlotte.
What kind of company? Catering?
Catering company. And I was in private school, went to a Christian school. I went I was kind of the opposite, I guess, of Tom. I was like I had everything in life that I could possibly want. But when that happened, I basically became I went down because I basically had to step in. I missed 100 days of school at the Christian because I was like running the company. My mom was in the hospital with my stepdad. So we did that for like 2 years. I watched her business fail. She like ended up going to, she's a PA now. She actually like went back to college for like 8 years and she's like a fucking doctor. It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shout out, mom.
Shout out, mom. I love you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, when she did that, it kind of like it defeated me in a way where I'm like, yo, like, I don't even know if I want to do this. Like, I knew I could go do a catering company and make good money, but I kind of was like, I was over. Also, at the time, I was 16, I bought a Mustang twin turbo.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because my stepdad, he's like, whatever you can save up, I'll match it. And,
Ooh, that's powerful when you're a kid.
Damn.
Because some parents
Especially when
don't
you're making $1,000 a weekend.
No,
So-
some parents think you're gonna save up like $500 and they'll be like, "I'll match your 500," and you save up like 16 grand. And
I saved up like
"Fuck."
I saved like I saved 20 grand.
Damn.
So
Let's go.
So yeah, we bought brand new Mustang. 16. I have a twin turbo. My mom will let me get a
Which is
V6,
stupid.
right? My mom let me get a V6, but my biological father, he was a mechanic, so we put twin turbos on it, right?
Wow.
So it had like 6. I mean, it was stupid, it was stupid, but I ended up getting like 20 tickets. It was like a rough time. I was like running my mom's business, right? So like I actually got
20 tickets.
So when I was 17, this is another crazy story here. It's like I was in Lexington, which is it's north of North Carolina. I was visiting my grandparents, and on the way back
Kentucky,
home.
right?
No, it's in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like Louisville,
Okay.
Kentucky. Yeah, but anyways, I'm driving back home, and I get a ticket going 143 to 55, and this is like
Yeah.
after.
You almost tripled the speed limit, my dude.
and
Holy
look,
shit.
well, so the V6 Mustang is like you just have 120. You can't see anything past that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like, and so actually when I got
So
pulled
when you
over.
saw the
Well, no, but I got pulled over. I'm like, I was going 80. I'm like, oh fuck, cool, I'll pull over. So I pulled over, and he came up to me. He's like, how fast you how fast you were going? And I'm like 80. He said, I was like, I've been trying to catch you for like 2 miles. You were going you were going 143. So I gave him this story basically. I mean, he was like an off-duty cop. Like he pulled me over.
Yeah.
And he's like, he took my license on the spot, and he's like gonna impound my car. So I'm like, okay, think up on the spot. I lied to him and told him that I'm taking care of my cousin. His mom just died. Just like sob story.
Yeah, you had to.
Where I'm like, if I lose
I need
this,
to get
I
the
can't.
fuck out of this.
I'm like, so he like literally, and this is like an hour drive. He followed the tow truck home. I was in the car. He like let me basically out of it. When I get to my house, my mom was a workaholic, by the way. She was never home.
Yeah.
Who's on the front porch when I get home?
Mom.
Mom,
Stop.
bro. So yeah, lost the car.
Wow.
Lost the car, and then and my grandparents they offered me opportunity to like, hey, if you come to college, if you do this, we'll get rid of this. I don't know if this is like legal to say on here, but yeah, we'll get rid of this ticket for you because he works at a big company.
We're probably
and,
outside the statute of limitations.
You got connections.
Yeah, so he has connections.
It's been a
for sure.
while.
Hey, this is like 10 years ago, bro. You straight.
Yeah.
We're outside
He
the
drives
statute
back
of
home.
limitations.
So
Yeah, you're good, bro.
So yeah,
That's
so
hilarious.
anyways, I ended up going to college. Straight. I wasn't great in high school. I did great, and then once the whole father, the stepdad thing happened, I barely graduated. Right, I went to public school for the first time in 12th grade. So it was like, but long story short, there's what basically happened. Like I lost my entrepreneur drive that my stepdad ingrained into me. So I got a job at Food Lion, pushing buggies, and Taco Bell, and I was like happy with it, like my
Taco
grandparents were
Bell,
paying
some
for
of those burritos. man.
Man, dude, those burritos.
Bro,
are
and
tight.
Slept on, man.
Do you still eat at Taco Bell?
I do.
That actually says a lot. I feel like a lot of people that work at a fast food restaurant for a long time, they're like, I'll never fucking eat
My
there
friend
again.
owns 54 Taco Bells,
Holy
and he
shit.
swears by the quality of their food right now. He
Bro,
swears
it's
by
good,
it.
dude.
He's
I'm not gonna lie. Taco
I
Bell is
actually eat at Taco Bell at least once a month. I'll fucking. I see one. I'm like,
I
hey.
eat it pretty often, but I'm saying he swears by.
Yeah.
He's like fighting for the quality of their beef and their chicken with me. I'm like,
Damn.
bro, I was just asking if it's good.
He's like, bro, it's all it's
It's
cool, bro.
all good.
It's cool.
He's like, grade A, U.S. my brag.
This is Wagyu beef in this cheesy gordito crunch.
Kills it.
That's hilarious.
So one thing I think Tom and I have in common, I think that a lot of the guys like you guys I meet, is there's trauma in the past somewhere, and you're a very competitive nature. You're either or both, more than likely, right? And I'm very competitive. I was very competitive. When I was 17, I won the Madden. Came second in the world.
Madden?
In Madden tournament.
And
Madden
I actually
football.
I got invited to go onto the Madden bus, and my mom wouldn't let me go. But,
Oh my God. It's like
Damn.
the kid's worst nightmare.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was right after the whole Mustang thing happened. So
Yeah, it just got worse somehow.
yeah, it was bad. So, but it lost, so I've always been very competitive in anything I did with the trailer or helping out with the business, etc. So, that competitive nature came back to me. So I ended up gaining a ton of weight, like kind of like I look like now, I guess probably is what I looked like then. But yeah, I ended up losing the weight. I got a job at a distribution center and became one of the top guys there, like very quickly. I was making, $40 an hour roughly.
That's a lot.
It was a lot, especially where I live. Like it's like
that's like making $1 million a year.
Exactly. Exactly. And so what happens? I crushed my, and also too, I met my wife in nursing school, right? So I went to, I was going to be a cop, and then instead of that, I was going to go to engineering and then nursing. And I finally met my wife in nursing school. And when I met her, she was 21. I was 20. She had 2 kids from her previous marriage already at the time. Actually, hopefully she hears this. She was married and she had a boyfriend. So I had a lot of competition out of the gate. But
out of the gate.
Yeah, actually, won my wife over. I believe is one time I went to her work, and some guy left a note on her car, and it said dinner ? And I just, instead of like taking it off and putting what I was going to put on there, I just put and the movie and kind of like outdid him, and that actually got me the whole thing. And I sold her that same week on a 7-day. So like Netflix was out, like Netflix was just like super hot at that point in time, and I'm like, yo, like just give me a 7-day trial. Like I know you have
a 7-day trial.
I swear to God.
What an irresistible offer!
I swear to
7-day free trial, no strings attached.
Yeah, so she's never taken her credit card out. So fast forward this, I have I get my entrepreneur spirit back. I have a girlfriend now with 2 kids all of a sudden, and I'm moving to my own apartment. I'm making good, decent money enough to get by, and I start doing driving cleaning. So it's like, houses, when your dryer goes out, house can catch on fire. It's like it's a big deal, apparently, right? So I was doing that on the side, and I go to work, make $200 in a day, and then go do 3 dryer events and make an extra $30 cash like after I get off work. And
that's crazy.
Because of like the work I did, I could basically get done in 4 hours because it was a production job. So like if you went in and picked your minutes, you could leave.
Yeah.
So I was going in and doing that, and then in March 27th, 2012, I crushed my foot at work. So I was like completely out of work, and I didn't know I had
You just drop a dryer on it or something?
No, I was at work and I got my foot stuck between a pallet jack and a concrete pole.
Oh.
Yeah. It's fucked.
What?
Ow.
Yeah.
So it was crushed like sideways crushed?
It was like
oh.
crushed.
For some reason I was thinking something like fell on the top of it, but like mashed from the side. That seems almost kind of worse.
Like one of the worst things.
So I have like right now I'm wearing a size 13 wide and a size 13 on the other foot.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's fucked. Like you would not want to see my right foot. Trust me. And thank God my
I'm gonna
wife.
see it tonight.
So
lucky me.
That's amazing.
And so like at this point in time, my wife at the time now, she was my girlfriend then. She was like living in like a straight attic, like at her grandparents' house. So like the first thing I did was like got the kids' beds in my apartment and like moved them in, and then like a month later, boom, my foot goes. And yeah, that was like really stressful. But I was making money doing dry events, so I'm like over like crutches. Like,
yeah. You're still doing it?
No, I'm still doing dry events.
Okay.
I'm talking like with crutches all the time, right? So you just be like on ladders for some of these, and that's why I hired my first helper to help me go do it. Cause I'm like, okay, fuck, I can pay someone $100 a day, and I can go make $300 a day. It makes sense. So I was doing that. I was getting what is that shit called, disability, and then I got like a $25,000 check for the whole thing, like from
like workers' comp.
Oh, nice.
Workers' comp, yeah, exactly, like the settlement. And I bought a house for my wife and I, and then I bought all the equipment I needed to do duct cleaning. It's like cleaning the actual like air ducts in the house, right? And so like this is kind of where I think where sales comes into play, because now I have like this job, and I would go do all this work. And actually, I went to school. My last attempt for college, I went back to college for entrepreneurship at UNCG, and
it's a funny degrey.
Dude, the first day I went to class, swear to God, I got a phone call. And this lady said, and then, I was like, I needed money because I was like running out of money. Money was, it's like, this is like 6 months now after the incident. So and I had not got my settlement check yet. I was like, I basically borrowed the money and then paid my grandmother back with the settlement money to get the duct cleaning stuff. And so I get a call, and they're like, hey, like I need a duct clean. My son's out having allergies, etc. I need it done today. Like it was like a panicked mom. And I'm like, I can't. I have a class. It's from 6 to 9. So I'm like, I can come out first thing in the morning and do it. And she's like, no, I need it done today. I'll just call somebody else. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, I go to class and I'm sitting there, and this teacher's teaching about some shit that he's not doing, right? Like he's in class teaching.
For real.
And I'm like, I'm in here, I'm already doing this shit, and I'm losing out on the opportunity to make money right now, right? So like immediately I just like,
You're like, isn't that why I'm here, to like learn how to make money on my own? And you're like, wait a second.
I get so I literally like get up, I just walk out of class, and I call the lady. It's like 6:30. I'm like, hey, I can come over like right now. She's like, well, my son has to be in bed by 10 o'clock. Can you be done? And this is the second job I've ever done. I'm like, yeah, I can be done. And I was there at 2 a.m. right? But like,
Stop.
Yeah, I was there at 2 a.m. I know what the fuck. It's my second job I've ever done, right?
Yeah.
So like, I was like, and she had these like ceiling vents. So I'm like, what the fuck are these? I had to like get screwdrivers and like, yeah, it's crazy. But like, long story short, I basically like, I was making decent money, but then this guy called, and he was like a Groupon representative. He's like, hey, like if you can do, we have hundreds of jobs that we need you to take. But basically what it was it was free. Like they'd buy it on Groupon, and then my job would be to go in
To redeem it.
and upsell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like kind of like bait and switch, which was
Yeah.
like kind of like the fucked up part. But like what I had to go through that was like I got introduced to Grant Cardone, and this was like around 2013, right? So started doing like
That's early.
heavy sales. Yeah, like Grant Cardone was like barely doing, like he wasn't even
Nothing.
on.
I
on-
watched
He wasn't
that.
Grant Cardone yet.
Yeah, he wasn't Grant Cardone yet. Like
He was on his way.
but
It was
yeah,
only the 5X rule at this point.
Yeah,
the 5X rule. Yeah, but no, I mean he been preaching on that for a minute. But the whole point was like started going through sales, and then quickly became the number one. Like within a 3-year period, I'd opened up 14 locations, 14 brand new trucks and vans, 14 sets of equipments, all financed though, right? I'm like I'm traveling all the time. I'm like in Chicago. We had locations in Las Vegas. We had locations in Kentucky and Louisville. So I was just traveling like everywhere I could doing this, and I made like $400,000 one year, like, one year doing this. And I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. But it was a shitty job because like you're going in, and like how I'm training my techs, and like once I'm going to cities and training them, it's like, okay, well, the sanitation is like their car payment, and the full package is their mortgage, right? And it's like, so there's no set prices. You're just getting as much as you can out of people, right? And like, so I did that, and this is another crazy story. I'm like at Thanksgiving 2015, and I'm at my wife's grandparents' house, and her sister comes in and says, hey, Brandon's on the news. And it was my first news special against me. And,
Against you. Against him.
And her entire family sitting here watching this.
Oh, no.
Her entire
They were
family.
just happened to be watching the news. They're like, hey, look.
About getting
Brandon.
scammed.
Dude, crazy, right? So like, that's how that happened.
Yikes.
And so this is the best thing that ever happened to me though, because in 2016, my wife and I separated for a year, right? During this time, I'm also doing like roofing sales, like trying to do stuff on the side, like roofing sales, credit card processing sales. I was doing all that like during the discovery period of duct cleaning. So I also had some like other kind of things I did for like a month, right? but anyways, yeah. So I get where was I at?
No, you
were on the news.
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
were
on the news, right? So like 2016, we actually separated for a year, and it was like the roughest time of my life because I was like, I knew that I liked making money, like just like Tom said, like when I was young, I knew like I wanted to live at my mom's house every week and not my dad's house every week, right? I wanted my kids to have my mom's house and not my dad's house.
Yeah.
So like, as I'm like doing this, like I lose myself in the sense of like, what do I want? Like what I want for my life. It's the first time like where I kind of had my Tony Ramos moment where I'm like, well, what do you want for your life? Like what is success to you? So I defined what success was for me, which at the time was I'm like, I want to make $6 million and I can retire and I can live off that money for this many, like, there was like
I
no
remember
comment.
that goal, dude. That's so funny.
Bro,
Like, why
so-
the fuck you only want to make $6 million?
Well, and it wasn't even like because I can live off the investments. It was like because
Yeah.
I can just live off of $6 million for the rest of my life.
That's too
Right.
funny.
So it was like just a bad mindset, but it was like a clear goal and I knew what I wanted. And
Yeah.
I was like getting drunk every night and I was getting high every, like, I was just in a really, like, kind of with that.
Poor decisions,
Luckily, it only lasted for a year for me, but yeah.
That's for a long time for T-Bone.
and during that,
Oh, damn, bro. That was some wild shit.
well, in my bounce backs, I was still doing duck cleaning, and then I got into real estate, and we were doing, we did a 90-day challenge with this guy named Joshua Smith, and we made $90,000 in 71 days. Like my first 90 days in real estate, I did 90 grand. But then what happened was I got a call from the state board, and they told me if I continue doing what I'm doing, they're going to take my license forever. And so what I was doing basically was, and this is where so this kind of leads to the marketing. So when I was doing this, I was running Facebook ads let me kind of back up. The very first actual like house I sold was to a lesbian couple, right? And it was the worst experience of my life because like I'm sitting here, I showed them like 30 houses. And when we were like in real estate school, like and you're going for this, they teach you like, like new houses are bad, like in a way, right? That's like kind of the like perception you get from like the instructor anyways, or my instructor. And like, new homes are bad, like get them an existing house. It's going to be a better bang for their buck. So I go show them like 30 and they're like asking me to see new houses. I'm like, no, like new houses, that's horrible. Like we don't want to do that. Like let's keep looking. So, I mean, 30, you guys can imagine like how draining showing 30 houses.
30 houses, yeah.
30 showings.
That's
30 fucking showings, man. And so we do all this, and then we go to the new home builder, and this fucking guy sells him a brand new house in 30 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was upset. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. He calls me the next day. He's like, Brandon, like, can you come up here? Ty Clark, by the way, True Homes, love you, dude. He called me. He's like, hey, bro, like, if you come up here, I got a gift card for you. So he handed me $100 gift card, American Express gift card. And he's like, well, what's this for? He's like, oh, so now if you sold a house with us, for every person you bring in the door, we're going to give you a $100 Amex gift card. So, like, my mind, like, went to a Brandon state, and I just, like, thought about that for a week. And I started making new home ads on Facebook, and I can get somebody in the door for $16, right? And so I spent all the money I had, like, all the money I had on Facebook ads. I mean, dude, I'm not even joking. I probably had $15,000 $100 gift cards from Amex.
Holy
That's too funny.
shit.
And here's the shitty thing about selling new houses is you don't get paid as a real estate agent until it closes.
Yeah.
Right? So like 6 months. So like I'm literally like I have no cash. I'm like borrowing money from my mom. I'm like paying my mom with like American Express gift cards to pay her back. And
I bet you learned all the ins and outs of when you cannot use an Amex gift
Mom,
card.
here's
Holy
20.
shit.
Here's 20 American gift cards.
Yeah. Is this enough for next month?
well,
at least?
I'm
paying rent
I'm using
into
her
a stack
credit
of
card.
gift cards.
I'm using her credit card on Facebook ads, but it's like fucking $2,000 a month credit limit. So I'm like, I'll spend the money and then you have to like pay it and you have to fucking wait 3 days for it to hit the balance. So I'm like scaling this as hard as I can as one person. I'm not even like, so like people are calling me. I'm like, oh, like, yeah, like what you want to do is like start with a new home. And I'm just like sending them to him, like without doing anything else.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like where they kind of like, they're like, hey, you can't do that shit. And I'm like, well, and then I'm like, okay, well, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, well, like Facebook's what's making me all this money. Like, I hate going to showing houses for 16 hours a day. I hate that shit. So I'm like, okay, like there's got to be something more to this digital marketing thing. And then I kind of did the whole digital marketing experience. And Jeremy Haynes, he had a mastermind.
out Jeremy Haynes.
Shout out to Jeremy to go, bro. But Texas is back too, dog. But anyways,
hey, yo, what's up with that contract you signed, homie? No, we love you, bro.
Not for real though. So and I go to Jeremy's event, and I literally like don't have any money. I have no cash. I have gift cards. and so
I can't get over this gift card side.
Bro, so I
only hundreds.
because you can't just consolidate them all into one gift card.
He opened his suitcase and all these gift cards came flying out. He's like, this is all I got to live on.
So I called him, I explained to him my situation, and I'm like, bro, like, I couldn't even get a hotel because like you can't use an American Express gift card to get a hotel. So I gave him $5,000. Like the event was $5,000. So I gave him like, I had like
50 of these.
I had like $8,000. Yeah, I had like $8,000 of gift cards left at this time. So like I literally like give him like I have rent and shit too, So like I give him $5,000 in gift cards, and he lets me sleep on his couch, like to this event. It's his first mastermind event he ever did, and so I like my whole life just changed at that event. Like it's like if someone's new coming to this event today or this weekend, it's like it's gonna change your life. So like I've had like so many of those there. I'm like, and I remember waking up on his couch, and he has this like penthouse in Miami, and he has like $33,000 a month plus percentage, and like it's just a whole board of this. I'm like, this fucking guy's making $30,000 a month. I'm like, holy shit, like this is what I want to do. So I kind of talked to him, and he told me like, yo, like you can come work for me, basically. And he's like, I'm gonna pay you fucking $2,000 a month, and you're gonna work 100 hours a week. And I'm not even joking.
It's a good deal. I'd take it, bro.
So he said, I want you to work 60 hours and learn 40 hours a week, and you maybe like track my time, you're like, have you guys tracked 100 hours? Like,
It's
not
a lot.
worked 100
That's a
hours a
lot
week,
of
but
time.
tracked and like
It's a
been
lot.
watched.
It's
Yeah,
a lot.
it's a lot. It's a lot, dude. But I loved it and I embraced it. And at that point in time, I just got back with my wife, so like all this stuff was defined, and we found out we were pregnant with she was pregnant with my son Frankie at that time, and my grandfather was pushing me to get a job at this time because like, yo, what are you gonna do now? Like, you need health insurance. Her dad was pushing me to get a job at Home Depot. And I'm like, look, if you can just give me, and like this is 2016. I'm like, hey, if you can just give me like, if by the end of 2017, I'm not on track, like run rate to make $100,000, I'll quit and take a job with your dad, right? So I take this job in like February with Jeremy, in 2017. It's like when I officially started, and this is the kind of shit I was walking into. I'm walking into accounts where he's spending $40,000 a day. So like when I'm like learning a new account, like a junior media buyer, you're gonna have to start like in a shady account spending $6,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
Like this shit's spending like $40,000 a day, right? So I mean, dude, we generated like my first year working with Jeremy, I generated $25 million in info. So, like we
That's
only did info products.
insanity, bro.
So Jeremy's background is great. He worked for Grant Cardone, and he's basically took Grant.
He
Cardone
scaled
to
Grant
digital.
Cardone.
Yeah,
Damn.
Jeremy Haynes is the GOAT, bro. He's legit.
yeah, he's a goat. So yeah, long story short, I started my own e-commerce brand, Clean Gun Co., selling AR-15 charging handles because you can sell anything on Facebook in 2017. And I fell in love with e-commerce, like just the whole like the fun, like like with info products, there's like this. It's a different feel and it's a different vibe versus like like the cha-ching sound on your phone at the time. I got addicted to.
Sound on your
right?
phone.
Yeah.
He said.
Right, so that's why I started
Shopify
into.
notifications.
That's when I started e-commerce, and then like 2 weeks before my son was born, my wife was a nurse as well. She was a nurse, and she worked the day until my son was born, and that was the last day she worked. That was 4 years ago.
That's amazing.
But it's because I had my first $8,000 client when like 2 weeks before he was born. It's crazy timing, right? Like it all lined up, and then that's when I kind of stopped working with Jeremy, and kind of started doing my own thing. And then I moved to Clayton, North Carolina. Worked with another shout out, Keegan and Corey Rush at Blue Pack Marketing. I became, I guess basically they're never had a title, but I was basically a CMO there. We went from $3,000 to $5,000 a day in spend on their internal brands to, on some brands we were spending, $50K a day over there. And, it's just kind of from my experience that I got from Jeremy, where I was like, I walk in here and it's like, hey, this is like easy things I can do here to get big wins. Then moved on to start an agency with Matthew Stafford from BGS Scale, the CRO company.
Low scale.
Yeah,
Bill Grow Scale.
Yeah, there we go.
Matt
Yeah.
Stafford, Tanner Larson.
Yep. Shout out to y'all too, like Matthew
The
Stafford.
OGs.
The huge mental shifts happened. That's where I started learning about investing, and I made good money at Blue Pack. Like, what do I do with this money now? And I kind of got all the fundamentals there from him. But we were working with brands like Discovery, Motor Trend, Netflix, Caterpillar, doing really, really well. I mean, I was
Spending bread.
yeah, and dude, I'm talking about
those
when
are
I'm talking
big
about spending
companies.
bread. I'm talking about like, hey, Shark, this airs tomorrow, $50,000 PPE. Right, they're like more impressions. So I went from e-commerce to impressions, and then also with Discovery comes a lot of red tape, right?
Oh yeah.
So it was like, man, like I just wasn't happy, right? And that's when I started kind of like exploring media buying opportunities on the side, and that's when I met Tom. So I met Tom. This is where the story gets really funny. So we're like, I'm working with like Mark Cuban's brands, like all these things, and Tom had a guy running the account.
We'll keep it nameless.
We'll keep it nameless for IEB, right? So he had a guy working the account, and he was telling about all these stories about how like he's killing it on Discovery and he's killing it on Mark Cuban's brands, all these things. And we happened to go to the same conference in Las Vegas in 2019. And
This is crazy.
I meet Tom, and I'm like, hey bro, what's going on? And I kind of tell him the background, and he's like, you work for me. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I work for you. And so he found out basically that the
This
guy
guy
that
was faking his story
Yes.
as you.
I see him.
Stop. He literally hired you before you hired, like you worked together before you worked together.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So immediately took over the account. I think I did a pretty damn good job. But Tom was right. I mean, he fired me for lack of focus, right? And so I'm over here. I'm like running this. I'm working with this other agency where I'm just like running PPE ads and we're going for impressions and like their quarterly objectives are like page likes and shit. Right?
Yeah.
And
And
now
it's
seems
crazy
so
that
silly.
companies can afford to do
That's
that.
it's also awesome if you're that agency, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
You
best
know,
case
like,
scenario.
hey, here's $1 million budget. Go get me as many impressions and likes as you can.
You know how
And
many,
by the way, we're going to
Legit.
pay you 10% on it.
you know, we've lost deals because I've approached the conversation not in the way that
They want to hear it. They want to hear it.
They're like,
yeah.
we have a budget of, ridiculous numbers and we want
we want reach.
reach. That's
And you're
it.
like,
frequency and
what?
reach. And I'm like, okay, I totally understand where you're coming from. How about we try to quantify this so that we can perform better for you guys? So like, let's come up with how else can we quantify? Could we do this? Could we do that? And like, we'll create very creative solutions to quantify these things. And we'll lose the deal because they just wanted someone to say,
Yeah.
this is the cost
Got
per
it.
click, and we can make some sick content and just push it out.
They're like, bro, like, no. We actually don't want any of that stuff. We just want likes and reach.
You're like, we'll figure out the money part.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, come on.
It's like the government. It's like, no, we don't have to figure that out. We'll just tax them more. Just invent new shit.
Yeah.
Just
But
keep
like,
making
it's sick
laws
to be
and
that
keep-
rich
yeah.
as a company.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, your brand is strong at that
Yeah, well,
point.
that's when you know you're funded. You
Yeah,
know?
it's a different level.
Yeah.
I always think about the giant billboards in like a baseball stadium. You know what I mean? It's like, how much is that billboard actually doing? I don't know. Because I know your brand.
but
and
you want
you're
to be
big.
on it though. You want to be on it.
Bro,
though.
like I love that
Yeah.
you brought that up because I talk to about that all the time. That's why I go to baseball games. I like legitimately like I love baseball. I think it's the most boring sport ever.
Hands down,
unless
it's not even
postseason-
close.
unless
It's not even close.
Postseason. But even then, best place to get deals done with somebody. Take them to a baseball game.
Because no one's watching. It's 9 innings if
Right.
no one watching.
And the other
You're
thing,
so right.
the other thing is too is that when you go to a baseball game and you sit there, like what I love to do is I like to sit there and I look at all the sponsors on the wall and I'm like, what do I have to do as an individual or as a company to be in a position to put my name on that wall, right?
And not think twice about
To
it
where
either.
it's no thing,
Yeah.
right? And that's a fucking mind fuck, right? Like what kind of organization or person or structure do you need to build to achieve that? And how many people do you have to serve, right? And how do you serve them? How many tens of millions of people have to buy your product or service?
For that to make sense.
And it's weird because at the end of the day, all it is just a giant blown up logo on a thing that just happens to be a place where a lot of eyeballs are.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So, but this is how we got connected because he basically, there was some stuff that went on at ROI that like wasn't super legit, that didn't really work out the way in his favor. And at this time, I'm only doing, creatives. I end up getting a couple small accounts, like ad accounts, and I'm like, I'm gonna run these things, and then we're like, yo, I hit him up. He's like at this place of and he worked for me. I fired him, but we're still homies. Like we're talking, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, bro, like
real quick, just so y'all know, Tom's the type of person that after he fires you, he called me, like we talked for like an hour almost every day, right? And it was like genuinely from a place of like love, like yo, like dude, like you're not in the right spot, it was like he helped me discover myself in a way that I've never, like things I never thought about,
That's awesome.
So like
Oh,
that's the kind of guy you are.
oh, I
bro.
love you, man.
That's
Yeah,
big, man.
he was focused on the wrong shit. That's for damn sure. You know,
Yeah, it
dude,
was.
I'm telling you, man, when you're focused on money, man, you're focused on the wrong thing. You know, money is just a tool. Money is freedom. You know, it just allows you to do things in this world. But if your pursuit is money, you're pursuing the wrong thing. Your pursuit should be to do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever you want to do it. And what are the activities that I need to do to put myself in a position to be able to do those things? And if you're just money focused, man, that's greed, you know. And people who are
focused on we're greedy in nature, but that's not how you
Do you feel like short-term money focus is greedy?
I feel like, well, it depends, right? I feel like, there's times in life when you need to do whatever you need to do to get whatever you want, right? But if you take a step back and you look at the reasons why you did those things, did it actually serve the greater good for you as a person? Or did it actually just serve what you needed in that moment in time, because we live in an instant gratification society and we can't be patient and plan and have purpose, right? And so I would say that yes and no, it depends on what it is. But what I would also say, though, is that if I go back in my life and I look at my 20s where I made ridiculous money and I was only focused on money, I would fuck anybody over for money. I would do
I see what you're saying.
I would do anything
Yeah.
for the money, right?
Mm.
And that has a ceiling. That doesn't make you a good person. You know what I mean? And I look at my life now and I'm focused on the journey and I'm never focused on the money. The money comes. The money, of course I want the money.
It's not about wanting. It's about I guess I was more thinking like setting a monitor. It was set in a way where it could be taken as like setting a monetary goal as a main priority is greedy, right?
No.
Like Brandon being like, I need 6 million. That's my number.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think, though, if you're willing to do whatever the fuck it takes, like if you're willing to fuck people over, sell them a bad
lie,
home
cheat, and
loan,
steal
like
to get money.
to do that in a way that doesn't
Harm anyone else.
Yeah,
in order
absolutely.
to
Well, but
attain.
you're harming yourself when you do things like
Of
that,
course.
man. That's not good.
I always think about like the same amount of effort that you would spend trying to fuck someone over is the same amount of energy that you could also spend just adding value to the marketplace and actually trying to do a good job.
100%. Yeah, and that's where we got connected. And like I always like to say, Brandon was like, he was on the dark side. You know what I mean? Like, and like now he's a fucking Jedi. Like, and I had to pull him out of the dark side of ecom to bring him over to the light and say like, yo, man, we can still be all about money. But like at the end of the day, man, it's about the journey. It's about building something bigger than yourself. It's about doing something with purpose. And when you're not focused on money, dude, the money always comes. The crazy shit, it's almost like the ad account too. You ever notice like in the ad account, like when you're fucking stressed as fuck, it's not working, right? And then you freaking set some shit up, you walk away for like 2 days and you're like, what the fuck? It's like it just starts working,
Yeah.
right? Or it gets better.
Yeah.
Or it improves,
Yeah.
right? And so in life, what you focus on, you become, right? And if you're focused on negative things, you bring more negative things in your life. If you're focused on positive things, you bring more positive things in your life. I believe that with every fiber of
I
my
have
being.
built my entire life around that principle. That
Absolutely.
is my core principle.
Absolutely. And so that's how we got connected. I was like, dude, like I started Weekend. It's basically creative. I have a couple, ad clients. I'm like, dude, you're the fucking best media buyer in the world. Like you were like hands down, like you're the experience, what you have, what you bring, and this dude's just he's like a fucking scientist in the lab, I'm like, dude, let's do this, man. Because what the market needs right now is people who know what the fuck they're doing and why they're doing it and for the right reasons. And I had the experience of building brands. He had the experience of building brands. And so when we're coming to a conversation to talk to somebody about what's best for their business, we can do it. We can actually help them because we've been there, right? Like we know how to build a company. Like we know what it takes to make payroll. We know what inventory issues look like customer service. Like we have all this experience that a lot of agencies don't have, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but we actually can, we have a differentiating factor in the marketplace, which makes it special. And the other thing too, and that, I'm going to get into this a little bit, or the couple days on Saturday at the event is like, dude, what's the best way to fucking close a client? It's fucking open up a store that's freaking doing $1 million a month in sales.
Yeah.
Right. And then say, hey, this is my client. This is actually my store.
Yeah.
Like I'm running this. I own this.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not just telling you like, this is like, I built this. Right. And that's why you should listen to me. It brings another level of credibility and authority to a conversation because now you're equals. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh shit, like this guy's me. And he's actually doing exactly what I want to do. And he's done it. And he's also doing it for other people.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of like where we got together. And then so I think it was
we kind of got going in like February of 2020, like
right before COVID.
Like right before COVID.
We got our first like big client like right before COVID.
Yeah, right.
So where are you? Give us location based. Where are you guys doing? Like, do you have
Sacramento.
an office? Are you guys working?
This is so in February of 2020, I had one office, and I had 13 employees.
Wow.
You were running
IAB only.
exactly.
and
That's
this
what I'm
is-
saying. It
that's
was
it.
your e-com brand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that year we started Stratton.
Yes. So, well, I mean, dude, so when the agency shut down, it's like when COVID happened, California was like the worst for anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Everything was shut down.
like we had to like send people home, and people were like, you know, like take your computers home, like, and then people were like, we don't know if we're coming back, right? Like it was. I mean, you guys know how this was.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
And but Weekend, wait, just to get this clear, Weekend was primarily only creative, right?
It was only creative in the beginning.
Okay.
It was only
because
creative.
I feel like my first time I heard your name was through my friend Abe
Oh,
in
okay.
Sacramento.
Yeah.
And he specifically said, I remember him saying like, my friend Tommy, he's here too. He's like really creative. Like he's content driven, doesn't do any ads or anything like that. He's
No, I
mainly
always
content.
did ads.
You did.
I always ran my own ad accounts.
Okay.
But I never ran ads
For
for
other
other
people.
people.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
as an
saying.
agency, you didn't
As an
run ads,
agency.
yeah.
I would just make creatives. For
Okay,
people.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So January 2020 was when.
Yeah, so we
fused,
kind
basically.
of linked up, and we're like, we're gonna do this. Then we got our
so in 2019, I started working with Tom 2019 April,
Yep.
full time.
Okay.
That's when I made the decision to leave. Like I've been working with Tom.
I
for
hired
a
him
minute early.
I hired him for IAB.
Okay.
to
Yeah.
like solely run IAB, and
Okay.
then
Okay.
we started
and then
getting like
6 months later, you're like, fuck it, let's do this agency thing.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. And then everything shuts down, and then my factory's like, we can't do any more. You know, I have activewear company at that time, can't do any more booty shorts. I call up my factory, Arlide, and I go, yo, I'm like, we should start a mask company. And I basically said, hey, let's buy some machines and do masks. And in March, we stared Stratton, you know, like from Wolf of Wall Street, like Stratton Medical Supply.
Yeah.
and this is when Facebook had not banned this yet, right? Like
Yeah.
it was not gone yet.
Yeah.
Dude, we were getting sub $1 CPA. Like we were hitting like a
That's
30x ROAS.
Yes.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
And then, but dude, that was that
Like
there's-
cloth masks,
there's,
right?
no, like
Disposable.
3-ply.
No way.
Disposable KN95s. I had them before anybody.
Wow.
And I can get them in the United States.
Wow.
So we started.
When is this March? You said.
So this
So
is
right
March.
before the lockdown?
Yep. So
Wow.
So March we do $4,000 of sales. April we do $20,000 of sales. May we do $2.6 million of sales.
What a
June we do
jump.
$2.1 million of sales. July we do $1.4 million. Like if I would have had unlimited inventory, we'd have did $100 million.
That's what I'm saying. I was gonna ask, why didn't you do more?
Dude, it was inventory.
Because check this out. Your mind's gonna get blown. I was moving $2 million a month in KN95 masks from China
yeah,
to medical groups through my network,
yeah,
just like connecting over email. And these people, think about who I am. I'm no one in the medical
Yeah.
space. I don't have any degree, no fucking credibility.
anybody could do it. It was
One of their
amazing.
doctors was like, I know a guy. And they're like, hey, guy, we'll buy 10,000 to start to see if you're a real guy.
at like $3.
At $3,
Each.
$2.95. I had the price point $2.95. They would eat $2.95. Anyways, 10,000,
Wow.
and then they'd be like, "Whoa, he delivered 10,000. They're actually good. Our doctors can wear them. We'll buy 100,000."
Yeah.
And just kept going. It was fucking insane. Terry's like, "Are these people actually just paying?" They're like, "Yeah, send us an invoice." I'm like typing up an invoice on Canva.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, 200K, you know, 95."
So like, how many zeros was that? Just double checking.
It's crazy that you guys were so early. You got in on Facebook.
Well, dude,
So-
I got COVID and I was laying there. Dude, I saw the whole thing happening on the
Yeah,
news.
yeah.
I like saw it. Like, you know, I've been a
Yeah,
marketer
yeah.
at a long time
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
point. I'm like, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So I jumped on it in January and started, like, we bought our own machines. Yeah, dude, long story short, like that year, almost $15 million in sales.
That's fucking insane.
$8.6 million to hospitals. I've never done medical sales in my life. I sold $8.6 million of masks to hospitals.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
and another $6.5 million online.
And it was only like so. And here's the issue: we actually started getting the mask because we had we actually put them on the boat, and then the boat got stuck. We had to start airing them over.
Oh man!
Right. So this is why we had really low months.
We were getting in Walgreens. I literally we pulled this brand out.
How did you get to that point,
bro? Just
I was slinging these on emails. As
bro,
a schmuck. So you were March, actually running a company on.
In March, we built a ClickFunnels. We literally put this shit on ClickFunnels. Right?
Yeah. and selling KN95s.
That's what I'm saying. We get like a 30x. And we were we had new ad accounts.
Like a full VSL on why KN95s are
amazing. Look, we took this out of our ad account because we already knew this was going to be a big deal. We don't want to lose our
stressful
business.
fucking ad
right. So we made a
usage.
new business manager, but you can only spend a fucking $100 a day in there. But we were doing 100 to make 3K.
Yeah.
Right. So
Jesus.
and so we were doing this, and then then Facebook thing happened. So then now we're buying business managers, we're doing all these things.
Yeah, we had to go black hat.
We got lucky though because we were running Taboola.
So and just a quick backtrack. At this time, we basically have 2 clients, and we're just kind of putting them on the back.
We had 5, and we lost 3.
Yes.
The day of the lockdown.
The day of the lockdown.
Whoa.
And one that we scaled we did great work for, which we'll keep nameless. But yes, so we back off the agency. We focus on Stratton, and also this is 2020, so IB is popping too. Everything popped.
Everything popped.
Everything most profitable year for every company fucking
every
ever,
company,
right? You know what I mean? That's why most of these people they're like, what's going on? And we're like, bro, you just started a business in the literally in the gold rush, This is not normal.
We had a client who sold hand sanitizer and wipes, and they were trying to ask us why they weren't doing the numbers that they were doing that year.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this a serious question?
Because you can get it
can
everywhere
we shift our
now.
focus to other product
It's like they
lines
thought that they just did.
They're we really need to get back to 2.8 a month. I'm like, no one is buying $2.8 million of mini hand sanitizer bottles right now. I hate to break the news. It's not gonna.
So we rode that hard all the way until September, and we got into this thing where we're burning ad accounts.
Did you keep all your staff?
So they're working at home. We basically, dude, it was.
I guess they worked for the ecom brand, so that was still growing too.
So what happened is we had to send everybody home. And I was like, fuck, man. There was a moment where I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to make it through this. Because nobody knew at that time. Sales kind of stopped. Everything, kind of paused. And then all of a sudden, within a month, everything exploded because they start sending checks to people.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally.
They start just flooding the market with artificial money.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden people are just buying fucking everything online. And there's an extra 25 million people who've never bought online that now are forced to buy everything online.
Yeah.
Right. So you have this massive influx of new people online. And so, dude, I Am Becoming's most profitable year it's ever had. Stratton's popping off. We're just freaking killing it. We get to September but because we went so hard on the Stratton side, we're burning through business man. My business manager got shut down a couple times. This is the real reason why we had these influxes, and then also inventory, just trying to keep up with how much you're selling.
Inventory was pretty hard back then too.
Yeah, 100. Well, dude, but we own the factory though. So,
I forget that.
So we what I did
were ahead of this,
dude. What am I I called up my factory and I go, hey, I want you to be my business partner. You go find the machines. I'll pay for the machines. We're gonna be business partners in this new business. And then we were making the masks.
Yeah.
So we were and that's why we started the brand. And then we just and we're a creative agency, so we made it look legit as fuck. It looked like we've been in the medical space for 25 years.
Yeah.
So
we do a fucking TV
dude, and then imagine this, and then you get a guy like me on the phone with a hospital going, absolutely I can do it, and it costs $4 a mask.
Yeah. Confidently, $4 a mask.
Absolutely, no questions asked. And that was actually a deal for them, dude. There was people
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, I was selling them $2.95, and they were like, wow, how cheap. Thank you.
Yeah. So
insane.
So we saw the rush. We also saw the slowdown coming. And then it got to the point where we were killing it, but we saw the ending, and then it really got to the point where the business manager situation was just this is too stressful. And I got my main, my business manager that I've had since 2013 shut down, which had all of my other shit that I'm doing.
And $1 million credit line.
Yes, and my $1 million, I had a $1.4 million credit line with Facebook shut down. So now all of a sudden I fucking owe Facebook money that they're like, hey, we want this due immediately, right? Like I can't run ads. Like, so you have the best fucking like 6 months of your life immediately into a whole fuck. And then that's when we're like, all right, it's time to do the agency. It's time to do weekend. We're like, all right, let's give this thing like a real try. And then we basically, I can't remember who we got connected to. Got connected to someone who built funnels, who started giving us leads. And then in October, we took on like our first client. And, my whole philosophy is, what everybody else is doing in the market, I want to do the exact opposite. Mm-hmm. Like, for weekend, we have 2 agencies now. We have Weekday, which is low ticket. It's just ads only, like nothing. And then we have Weekend, which is boutique. It's high-end client, minimum engagement with us is $15,800 all the way up to $40,000 retainer plus percentage of spend, right? So we start taking on some, decent size paying clients in October. And October is where I'd really say like that is like where Weekend began. That's when we both
October 2020.
Yeah, October 2020. We made the decision.
That's insane.
Like we made the decision
Wild.
to go, hey, we're gonna do an agency. Like, because like now my main source of revenue, like which is I am becoming, is basically my business manager shut down. Like, fuck. Lucky for me, I had made so much money the previous 6 months. We were straight.
Okay, yeah.
But I was like, okay, we need to
figure it out fast.
We need to figure it out fast.
Yeah.
So, and I would probably say October is like where we really like dug into the ground. Like
media team of one.
Yes. Yeah. And from,
wild.
And from there, we like scaled very, very quickly. I mean, I think I brought in myself, well, look here, this is how in 2020, Weekend was a brand new agency, and we did $1.2 million in sales in like 3 months.
That's insanity,
right?
Holy
like 3 or 4 months.
Well, to be fair, you were already doing the creative side before, so now this is just creative plus ads. Now is what Weekend became.
We paused all agency activity. Like, so for
when you did Stratton, you were not doing agency stuff at all.
Like we were using all of our
but we had
resources.
2 clients that whole time that we kept.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We had.
But October was when you're like, okay, full focus back on the agency. Let's scale the fuck out of this.
100%. And that's when we said, hey, like, because we also understood the power of creatives. We all knew, like, we all saw that happening. Like even in 2019, it's like creative. Like Chandler's been preaching it forever, right?
100%.
And like, so I was like, all right, well, if I can take what Chandler does, like, and fucking add a fucking badass media team behind that, then we should have like a next level agency. And that's when we doubled down, and then we went like literally, basically grew out of our tiny office, because at that time IAB was like 2,000 square foot office with like 18,000. Well, it was actually 10,000. Then I got the next office over with another additional warehouse. Right, we built the psych wall.
That was the 18,000.
Yep,
total,
it
right?
became 18,000. Then we grew out of that. Then I went and got 30,000 square foot, like 28,000 and change, which is like I think 6,000 square feet of office. Like it's a big ass office.
That's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we grew quick. So we basically went from like 13 to like 40 to like
120
to and then now we're hovering around like 90 or something like that, very quickly. And then we scaled hard in 2021 as an agency. I mean, we went.
What were the keys
to scaling?
Mm-hmm.
So
you ran a lot of ads. I feel like I saw you run.
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of ads.
absolutely. I ran it, but I mean, I wasn't spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
All of the big business that I get is through just my name, my personal reputation. I've been in the e-com game for a minute.
Long time.
And also I am a hardcore learner. I go to conferences. I know, I'm a part of multiple masterminds. I know a lot of people in the space, but I wasn't making noise.
Yeah.
And that's when in, October, that's when I started my Instagram. It was like, all right, now I need to take all this knowledge and expertise, and I need to build a personal brand so that way I can go get the clients that I want.
Yeah.
And so that's when we started, focusing on our acquisition. Let's run some ads. Let's build a reputation. Let's put out really, really powerful content. and like let's show people what we can do. And 2021, here we are. We did a lot of shit.
That's nuts. So how many agencies did you acquire in 2021?
So technically, it would be so off the record, on the record. So we have.
We can beep it out if you want us to beep out something.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, like so, there's a challenge with with the one of them right now that I can't really talk about, but technically 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that didn't even happen until I got like really with Kyle. Like like this is when it kind of So we met Kyle. When did we start working together? Kyle became a client in May, right?
Yeah, right before Father's Day.
Yeah. So Kyle actually became a client, and Kyle was actually my first e-com acquisition. Not even actually, I had one before that too, but like the smaller ones,
like the real one, like the first real one.
The first real one, and we got a deal together, and then we started working together, and he became like homie, and we just realized that like, dude, this guy's next level, and we started talking, and he's like we should start buying e-com brands.
Did you work in M&A before?
No. Nobody here has M&A experience.
Wow, that's dope.
So Kyle actually sent me a course by a guy by the name of Peter Lang. So I think I sent you the shit that I was going through. You hit me up one morning when I was on the bike. Yeah, dude, M&A guy. This is not, it's like Roland Frazier, the epic guys, like, right? And dude, I went through that shit in July. I bought it $5,000. He sent it to me. I bought it. I went through it on my vacation, and the next month I had acquired an agency.
That's amazing. That's the best time to do it though, right after you figure.
Well, well, dude, and here's the thing that like really, what happened in 2021 that even got us to this place, because again, very short time in the agency space, long time in the e-commerce space. But what I realized is that like, the agency game, everybody's doing it wrong in my perspective.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens. You get a client, and one of two things happens. You either suck and you do a bad job.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, 3 things happen, right? Which wasn't us. Or you do a good job, but it just doesn't work and you get fired. So you get fired in stage 1 if you suck. You get fired in stage 2 if you can't get results. Or you do an excellent job and you make them a fuck ton of money, and then they have to start writing you big checks, and then you still get fired.
Yeah.
And so we had a client that we destroyed it for, made them so much money, and we got fired because they had to start paying us very large checks.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the light bulb moment for me, where I was like, okay, we're excellent. We're like the best in the world at what we do. Like, we're excellent. We know how to scale companies. We know how to build brands. We know how to do this for people. No longer are we going to do this for brands unless we can somehow get a piece of the upside, right? And at this time, we started working with Kyle, and we just started talking about it. And we're like, yo, man, like, we should acquire e-commerce brands, like, and not all of them, just percentages of them, equity shares, right? Assets that we can acquire with no money and get them to pay us too. Like, give me 20% of your company, pay me $20,000 a month at a fixed rate, and I'll be your business partner, and I'll scale the fuck out of your brand, and we'll sell this thing in 3 years, and we'll both make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? That was the kind of like, okay, let's do that. Okay, well, so how do you service multiple brands with a weak team, right? Because at this time, our team, we're brand new, we're growing, and we're good.
Yeah.
But you don't, like, you know how it is. You
can't find the best people immediately. Like, you got to really sift through a lot of people
without funds.
Without funds, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And it's not even that they're not good. It's just that they don't have the experience needed to be successful at the levels that you need them to be at, right?
Yeah.
Well, so that was when he was telling me, so he went through this course because he wanted to be doing acquisitions. He can tell his story, and I think he had already came to this conclusion like earlier than me, right? You wanted to start buying brands like what, in 2020, right? So he wanted to already start buying companies. So he was already on this journey.
Holy fuck, we're in 2022. Like, it just like,
I know, it's crazy, right?
Really 20, I keep thinking like not this year that just happened, but like the year before.
Yeah. So basically he was already on this journey, but for e-commerce acquisitions, he gave me this course and I was like, I was on this journey initially because this is the fastest way to get talent. Like, dude, think about it. Like,
No, I'm 100%.
like, dude, like this event that you put together, it's incredible, right? But I want you to think about this. Like, everybody that's in this room are actually all the people that you probably need for your agency to be that $100 million agency.
Yeah.
Right? And so it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, well, fuck. We already know we want to buy e-com brands. Well, how can I service the e-com brands with the current staff that I have? And yet I can't home grow these people, right? Like it's going to take too long. It's
way too long.
Right? So instead of doing that, why not go out and find agency
Gobble them up.
owners who want to come build something massive with me and we'll do it together, right? Let me go because I'm a master negotiator because I know how to find win-win scenarios where everybody can win and still make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's figure out ways where we can connect, merge, or I can invest and acquire a significant portion of your asset and still allow you to make as much money as possible, right? But let you do what you're best at and let me remove the headache, the finances, the HR, all the shit that you got to deal with as an agency owner, and you just come over to weekend. We're going to roll up. We're going to start a new branch together. You're going to do you. We're going to grow the shit, and we're going to both make a fucking lot of money in 3 or 4 years, right? And so that's kind of how this whole thing. And dude, and I'm not even joking you, like the amount of shit that we've done in 2021 is massive. 4 e-com acquisitions, almost 5 agency acquisitions, like in not even 5 months.
That's insane, bro.
That's
in
nuts.
5 months.
In 5 months.
That's
July
nuts.
to
2020, you're saying.
2021.
2021. In 5 months, you did all that?
Yeah.
That's fucking insanity.
Like honestly, we're like, oh yeah, we're scaling pretty fast, and then I hear this, I'm like, wait, this is like another level. That's sick as fuck.
Bro, I go hard as fuck, dude. Yeah, man.
I love it.
Well, dude, but I mean, I want you to think about it. Like, it makes so much sense, man. Like literally think about it. Someone's coming to you, right? And is this even fair to us? And these are the questions that we need to ask ourselves as agency owners, right? Is it even fair that someone, and look, the beautiful thing about life is we get to set the terms that we work from. And so if you want to work with the best, right? If you want us to grow your company and you want a specific result that I can deliver, does it make sense for me to deliver that result for you, for only you to partake in the upside, and I get a significant portion at the end of the day I get fired?
Fuck that.
It makes no sense, right? And what's your biggest problem with our relationship? And I'm not ours, but like I'm assuming you're a client, right?
Yeah.
We're role playing here.
Right? The challenge that you have is that you don't want to pay me a lot of money. That's really what it comes down to. Because even though you say that if I get you this return, you'll pay me unlimited amounts of money, but as soon as I do what you ask me to do,
You fire me.
you fire me because it's too much,
Yeah.
right? There are incentives are misaligned. So now what we do is I go, okay, well, look, the first question I ask people now when they like if they're coming in as a potential client is like, are you for sale? Completely fucking reframes the conversation. Would you sell your business right now if you could? Right?
Yeah.
How much money do you think this business could generate? Like realistically. So now we're having a completely different conversation. It's not like, hey, let me hire you. Can you do this for, like, now we're talking about how do we grow an asset together before we're even talking about agency, right? And so if you think about your agency as an opportunity for deal flow, right? For opportunities that come across your desk. And look, not every client you want to buy, right? We all know that, right? Again, the most important thing about these deals is the relationships. But if they're coming across the board and they have an amazing product, they're an incredible founder, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing or how to grow their business, this is a perfect opportunity for me to come in and inject the growth engine that can get them the result that they want. And I can basically buy a long-term client
and I can grow an asset with someone and reap the rewards when we go to sell, right? And that is a winning proposition because now actually all of our incentives are in line, right? Because you don't like it when I scale you to $1 million a month in ad spend, you got to pay me $100,000, right? You don't like paying me $100,000. Well, instead of that, why don't we do this? Why don't you give me 20% of your company? Why don't we set a 3-year goal and I'm going to 2, 3, 4x your business, whatever those parameters are that you determine are actually realistic based in reality. And instead of paying me what you know you are going to pay me based off of where you're at because you came to me from a different agency, this is what I'm going to do. You're going to pay me $20,000 a month for the next 3 years. And it's never going to change. That's it. $20,000 a month for the next 3 years. And guess what's going to happen? Every single month that we grow this asset together, what happens to our balance sheet?
Goes up.
It gets better. It gets better, right? Revenues go up. Our marketing expenses stay low, which means the business is more profitable. And guess what I'm going to do with that money that you were going to pay me? That ad spend that you were going to have to pay me, that profit share that you're going to pay me, I'm going to take that money that you would have paid me and I'm going to invest it back into the business. So now I got skin in the game, right? And so every month we're growing an asset together. Now the completely different relationship that's started here and that has formed and that's transpiring. And dude, this is what I think every fucking agency should be doing, right? If you're confident in your product, if you're confident in your ability to execute and to take someone's business to the next level, and if you're worth the fucking money, if you're willing to put your money where your mouth is, fuck yeah. Pay me $20,000 a month for 3 fucking years, and I'm gonna own some of your company, right? And I'm gonna do what I know I can do. You know, you gotta be good, right? Like you can't just fucking do.
Yeah.
Like you gotta perform, right? But what does that do, man? Like now I have stability. Now I can build a team around a specific client, right? This is a fixed cost. My cost as an agency owner through economies of scale gets easier, right? Like, you know, look. If I can get someone to pay me $20,000, $240,000 a year, right, for the next 3 years, I can build a team around that, right? That's very functional, and that's cash flow coming into the business, right? And then if I can then also negotiate kickers or profit shares if I hit certain KPIs, and if I'm an owner in the company and I have a say what happens, what better relationship is there than that for an agency owner?
None. So we have like 3 deals similar to this.
I love it.
That we've set up to like play with, and it's worked well. That's one of the companies that we're moving from Sacramento here.
I love it.
Very similar situations. I'm just fucking mind blown at the speed and how condensed.
Yeah, we
How
were
9. You said 9 acquisitions total.
Yeah, 9 acquisitions
In 5 months, 6 months.
Well,
and where the and obviously the creative
like how the
teams are in
fuck did
different
this happen?
locations
No,
too,
that's
right?
what I want to know. Like how the fuck did this happen? It's not like you guys have been acquiring businesses for, like if he was like an M&A attorney,
yeah.
and like understood the process and like could smoothly flow it out, and you had deal flow,
Well, so
then it makes sense,
dude. Well, so
But he's not. No, it's very impressive. This is like
No, it is. It's actually
it's on
nuts.
a serious level, you know.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I'm-
it's nuts.
Well,
It's
dude,
nuts.
well, look, I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, look, when I've been in the game for a minute, this is not new to me. I have businesses that I own and that I've scaled. You know, I have 2 e-com, you know, we did $20 million just in my own companies before I met Kyle, combined $45+ million together through our acquisitions in 2020 alone. Right? Like we know what the fuck we're doing to, you know, $63 million in total revenue generated through companies that we have started and or acquired in the last fucking, you know, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
But dude, I'll tell you why it's only mind blowing because like you've never just actually said I can fucking do this. You know, it's not that fucking big a deal.
Yeah.
Like it's just taking a conversation and completely reframing it in a way that makes sense to them. Because look, if you align incentives and you both want the same things, right? We can agree that when someone comes to us with their baby, right? This is what they do when they bring their company to you, right? They're bringing you their most prized possession.
and they're asking you, this is a privilege. This is why as agency owners, we fuck it up, right? And I realize this very early. We go about it the wrong way because we fuck it up because we're focused on, we're focused on me when we should be focused on we. We're not focused on the result that needs to happen, and not just the result that because we only have a limited control, right? But imagine if you could go into these conversations and you can say, hey, what if I could help you in email? And what if I could do your Facebook ads? And what if I could do your creative? And what if I could do your conversion rate optimization? And what if I could do, your website management and, all of the things that really are the engine of the e-commerce brand? And what if I could do that for a fixed cost of $25,800 a month? Right? And now here's something that I want you to think about. Right now, you're paying $10,000 for Facebook ads. You're paying $5,000 for Google. You're paying $7,500 for email. You're paying $8,200 for CRO. You're paying somebody for web dev. Right now, you're paying $40-something thousand a month. So here's a proposition I have for you. How about I save you $15,000 a month? I give you a world-class team that's fucking scaled companies, $63 million in sales in the last 24 months. And I give it to you at a fixed cost. And in exchange, you give me 20% equity of this company, and we put a roadmap together for us to sell this business within the next 3 years. Does that sound like something that would interest you? Would you like to save 15?
Tommy.
That reminded me of Jordan Belfort right there. Just the ending.
Yeah. But dude,
you're right. It's an irresistible offer. It's like, what more can you? How do they say no to that?
Bro, 4 fundamentals of every fucking successful, dude.
And how are you getting the 20%? Is it up front or are you getting 20%
Depends.
based on?
It depends on the deal. Like the deal that we just did, $5 million company I'm talking about at your event, $5 million plus company. We were able to go into this company, and dude, a company, by the way, that's in like stores, it's a well, I can't say it out loud, but I mean, you could put it together. You'll be able to put it together when you're at the event, because of a non-disclosure agreement, right?
Yeah.
But $5 million company, this number, I think $600,000 or $700,000 a month in expenses. We're able to go in, save this company $300,000 a year in expenses, and still have them pay me $20,000 a month. This is a VC-backed company, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a VC. This is the new model for agencies. Because anybody can get fucking money, dude. Like, it's not hard to get money. Like, if you had a great idea, and you guys are super smart guys, you're creative guys, you could go out and raise money. It's not hard to get money. Yeah. What's hard is to take an idea and to make profit, right? To grow something, an asset that's valuable, right? And so if I can walk into a company and save them $300,000 a year and then negotiate for them to pay me $20,000 and give me 20% of equity of a company that's basically, losing, I immediately make this company profitable day one just by cutting expenses and bringing in a world-class team to now grow the asset. Right? That's a win-win situation.
It's a huge paradigm shift for owners, for sure.
100%. It's a win-win. It doesn't even matter. Like, in no way, shape, or form is that, and so this is what everybody goes. They go, okay, well, so why would I give away 20% of my company? Because, bro, you ain't fucking doing it. Like, if you were gonna be winning, you would be winning, right? You came to me. This is what, your 4th agency? You don't have the right team. And the reason why you don't have the right team is it's not even so much that the agencies probably weren't even that bad, right? It's because you don't got the right strategy. It's because you're focused on the wrong things. It's because you're not looking at the big picture. Because you come to me and you go, hey, I want to go from $1 million to $2 million when the average company grows at 10, 12% a year. Is that fucking realistic? Are we even in the same fucking atmosphere?
Yeah.
Right?
You're so right.
Right?
They want a magician. They want someone to
right.
come in
You want
and
a
just solve all
magician?
their problems.
Hey, you want somebody to go fucking snap their fingers and make you some, that's not us, right? We get results, right? We drive revenues. We drive profits because we do it. We know what the fuck we're doing, right? And if you want to work with somebody that's done it over and over again, this is what it looks like. So if you're serious about exiting, if you're serious about building a profitable business, this is what it looks like. And not only have I done it, I'm doing it with multiple companies. I can do it for you. Would you like to go on that journey together?
Yes, Tommy.
I love it.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's about positioning.
I feel like there's so many answers where they go,
Well, it's
when
like-
you put it like that.
Well, like real quick too, like
that's
to
a
kinda-
harder spot.
to go back to 2021 with the client he's talking about, where like we killed it for him and like the epiphany happened. And with that client, we took them from spending 10K a day on Facebook to 130K. I mean, we
A day.
averaged
A day,
day.
A day.
Not and profitable, right? Like we lost $17,000 front end, but they were a subscription company. Like that's how crazy. Like we were getting really good results, and he had to pay us $100,000 check. And what he did was and we actually, because like Tom started going through the M&A course at this time, and this was the first pitch for like, hey, like, okay, if you don't want to pay this much money, like let's get.
This was my first pitch.
This was the first pitch, and
Nice.
it's like like when you think about it, the math of this, right? Like, okay, if you're gonna pay $100,000, now you're paying $20,000. That's $80,000 profit a month, right? Over the course of the year, right? That's that's almost
You
it
deserve
is $1
a
million.
cut.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's $1 million profit, but now that profit is now
Staying in
instead
the
of
business.
a 2 or 3x
No, I get it,
multiple,
yeah.
because we're gonna scale you, it's gonna be a 5 to 10x multiple. So that $1 million is $5 million. Like we're investing, you're gonna get extra $5 million essentially by doing this.
Right. And what I'm doing is I'm making an agreement with you that, hey, guess what? I'm down to sacrifice with you. Right?
Yeah.
I'm down to do this with you. Hey, you want to pay this? Okay, cool. But guess what? We're going to make an agreement that we're going to sell this bitch, or we're going to take on capital contribution. And guess what? I'm going to get a piece of that nut when we get to the end of that road in exchange for the sacrifice. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And look, this isn't for everybody, obviously, and it has to be the right brand. And honestly, these deals, the most important thing about these deals is the person that you're doing the deal with, right? Because there's a whole other side of this that we haven't even experienced yet. But relationships are the foundation of every successful partnership, of every successful marketing partnership. Dude, your relationship with your wife, right? Like your relationship with your friends. Like these are the things that are like literally what make things happen in the world, right? And so if the person that you're going to do this transaction with, if you can't be confident that this relationship is going to work, then the whole thing's not going to work anyways. Like I'm going to say this at your event too, the valuation of someone's business is it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Because a valuation is just, it's an assumption of value that hasn't yet been realized.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's it's just like everything else. It's like, it's not real, right? You still have to go do it, right? But if we can make an agreement that I'm going to go help you do it, and we can both agree that if you were going to go do this by yourself, this is more than likely what you would pay. And if I'm willing to sacrifice with you for the next 3 years, well, I want to get a piece of the upside. And is it so much for you to let go of 20% of an asset that you can't even grow yourself? Because you're coming to me asking for the expert advice, the wherewithal, the need, the know-how to execute what you want to do.
Okay, so what happens? You back to your scenario, you said agency does 3 things. It either doesn't do a good job, which we never do. It does a great job, but it doesn't work, or it works.
Yeah.
What happens
then
in
you
that?
get fired.
What happens in that second scenario when you negotiate 20% equity? You guys deliver badass content.
Mm-hmm.
Your emails kick ass.
So
Something's not clicking. You're strategizing amazing ideas. You're
Yeah.
executing phenomenally. It just doesn't work.
yeah, well, so what happens is you're in it with them, right? And so
But doesn't it become a toxic situation at some point?
In all fairness, I haven't experienced that yet because I've barely been doing this shit.
Okay.
But
And
what
also, are you pretty? I'm assuming you're pretty selective with who you'd want to.
absolutely
No, for
like-
sure. That's assumed.
But you bring up a very, very valid point. But I guess here is what I would say to that, right? Like, I mean, how is that any different than just
an
us,
agency? No, I understand.
you know,
I'm
running-
not saying your scenario's not better.
Yeah, but you're saying in the situation where you do a good job,
Yes.
and the thing just doesn't work. The product
Yeah,
isn't the right
absolutely.
fit or whatever.
And look, I think you got to cross that bridge when you get there. But I mean, I guess the better way, or the way that I would probably look at that is, okay, well, at least I have like some solid motherfuckers who are in the thick of this with me while we're going through this, the best people in the world to help me figure this out as to what to do. Because again, I'm just the growth engine. See, the beautiful thing about these deals and the way that we structure them is I don't want to take over the founder's role.
Yeah.
You know, Weekend Investments, we want founders to be great founders. We want them to be all about product development. You know, the whole reason when you start these things is because you're passionate about them and because you're excited about them. And then very quickly when you're the CEO and the founder, you start wearing all these hats and you lose that passion. You lose that focus because you have to do all of these other things. See, what we want to do is we want to come in and we want to be that growth engine, and we stay in our lane and we execute at the highest level possible. We do our job, but you're still doing all of the other things that made the company great to begin with, right? You just have one less thing to worry about. You don't got to worry about your paid media. You don't got to worry about your email marketing. You don't got to worry about your creative content. You don't, and as a matter of fact, now you get a collaborator, somebody who has built assets as well, to help you figure out what the right strategy is. And look, you know, in my humble opinion, this is the new model, right? Think about VCs, right? They go out, they'll buy 100 brands and they want one of them to work. My model is I want to go out and get 50 brands and I want 30 of them to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's some wealth creation.
Yeah.
That's some massive gains, not only for the e-commerce brands, but for the people who are contributing and helping actually realize that growth, right? Actualize that profit.
So give me an example of what one of these deals are structured like.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I understand the company that's floating has revenue, 5 million, like you're saying, but profit actually is 200K. It's a shit company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you come in, and I understand the 20% in that situation. What happens when a company has, $20 million a year coming in? They're doing very well. They are pocketing, let's say 2.5, 3 of it. Mm-hmm. Not great margins, but they're doing well enough. Like, are deals with company? First of all, have you gotten to that point yet? Like acquiring a company at that stage, or are we still
we're
under
actually,
10?
Yes,
Because under 10 makes sense for like replication.
So right now we're focused on $1 to $10 million.
Makes sense.
And honestly, that's actually, I think we're actually even, I think, going to be raising that probably to $3 to $10 million, because like, and I'm sure you know this, way easier to go from 3 to 10 than it is to go from 10 to 20.
Way easier.
Right?
Yeah.
Completely different ball game. But again, you don't do any. So let me back up. Without clarity of purpose, we can't profit.
Yeah.
Right? And so none of these deals ever get done until we have established what the North Star goal is. See, this is the problem with most e-commerce brand owners, and frankly, most business owners,
Yeah.
especially agency owners. We start these things and we go into them because we want to make money. And we're like, hey, I want to make $100,000, whatever it is, right? And they become a lifestyle business, and they become a bigger animal. But what we don't realize is that, the whole purpose of building a business is to build an asset that eventually you can sell. Because one day you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die, I'm going to die, right? We're all going to die. And I don't think anybody goes into building a business going, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Yet that's usually how it kind of plays out, right? 80% of all businesses like want to sell, but don't sell, which means that actually 80% of businesses actually just fail or cease to exist. Because if you don't have someone you can pass the business to, or if like, and this is, I mean, it's crazy, but this is real. Like businesses just stop.
Yeah.
Right. And here's
Totally.
here's another thing, right? They Peter Lane calls it the silver tsunami, right? Right now, baby boomers are retiring faster than ever, and there are more assets in the marketplace than there are buyers. There's more businesses out there right now that anybody who's listening to this that could go literally negotiate a 100% seller finance deal, restructure an organization, and buy a business with existing revenues just by being smart and intelligent and working through and restructuring an organization.
Yeah.
But nobody thinks about it that way, right?
Yeah.
And so the thing is that what we have to do as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we got to start asking better questions, right? Because you came to me and see, this is the problem with most e-commerce brand owners. They come to you and they go, I want to make, you know, another $1 million this year. Okay, well, why? Why? Okay, well, because I want to make another $1 million this year. Okay, well, so you want to grow the business, but for what reason? What is the purpose of your business? Obviously, it's to make money. Where is this going, though? Right? You know, most people can tell you more about their favorite sports team than they can tell you about what they want for their life next month. Right? And it's the same for business owners. And so what Weekend Investment does and what Weekend Digital does is we come in and we bring clarity to a situation that most people don't actually think through. And we provide the infrastructure and the growth engine to get yourself out of this business or to do something with this asset, right? Dude, it's the whole reason we're even here today. I started an activewear company and I had no end goal. So now I have an activewear company that exists that you know, I think we did last year $6 million. Not a lot of revenue, right? But I couldn't shut it down if I wanted to because it's just going. You know? In order for me to shut it down, I would have to do some crazy shit like to actually get rid of the asset, or I would need to sell it. And if you think about most people in their businesses, they're not thinking about anything other than 10 minutes in front of them.
Yeah.
Right? And so what we want to do as agency owners is we want to position ourselves as the expert to come in and say, hey, I get it. You have a really great brand. You have a really incredible opportunity. But what are you going to do with this opportunity? Because all good things come to an end, including growth. And so what we should be thinking about is what's our North Star? What are the activities that we need to do as your marketing partner to get you to the North Star? And how can we all exponentially profit from going on this journey together?
Hey, Tommy, I don't really want to sell in the next 3 years. I want to sell like when I'm way bigger, like 15 years down the road.
15 years down the road? That's great.
I want to be like my shoe company is pretty big. I'd love to be like Adidas level.
That's awesome. You're definitely not the right client for.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So like, look, I mean, you know,
we need to be able to cash out together in the next
5 years. Listen, we have a very simple strategy. It's a 5-year plan, man. It's a multi-billion-dollar valuation. It's a $500 million exit. It's 30 to 50 e-commerce brands. It's probably 40 to 60 agency acquisitions, and it's a Weekend EDU. It's an education platform. Very clear, very specific goals that are very, very doable. You know, the average agency is anywhere from 10 to 25% net profit a year, okay? Most agencies hover in this $500,000 to $2 million a year range. Like that's most agencies. Mm-hmm. So what's a better way to grow? You know, let's think about this. Is a better way to grow to run Facebook ads and to go leverage my, you know, build a personal brand like I'm doing and to try to organically grow? Is that the fastest way to grow for me to realize the kind of wealth creation that I want in my life? And again, this is going to be different for every person.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a different goal in their life, right? My fucking goals are huge. I have big fucking ambition which requires big sacrifice, which requires even bigger fucking balls, right? So if I want to achieve this goal, this massive, massive goal, I'm not going to get there by just getting new agency clients. But you know what's a better way to grow my agency? Like 50% a quarter? Is to go buy other agencies that have 20 clients that are doing it the wrong way and to roll them up into my infrastructure so I can build a better organization that can focus on my own brands that I'm building and scaling so we can make more assets that can be sold for larger multiples and make a fuck ton of money.
So when you're gobbling up the agencies, not the ecom brand. The ecom brand, I understand the structure of it. Like we're in similar situations. We've acquired 3. They do pretty well. They combined for 8 figures, so that's good enough, right?
Fuck yeah, man.
Good start.
Amazing.
Right? From
congratulations, dude. It's fucking awesome.
Thank you, bro. We're on the same page, like that's where it needs to be going. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You need to own your clients. You know, within the next 3 years, Weekend, probably 70% of our business will be brands that we own. A percentage of.
And you know the best part? You're treated differently in the relationship because of it.
I'm an equal.
And exactly.
And your advice now goes so much further. It changes the company.
Absolutely.
You could give the same advice as the marketing company.
And it means nothing.
It means nothing.
It means nothing.
And that's the real difference.
I think too, like if any kind of client relationship, when your opinion doesn't matter, that's when you lost anyways.
Yeah.
I don't disagree, and I'm not saying that, but like it's different. Like in these brands, just from the experience so far, these are the ones percentage-wise we've grown the fastest, and it's not because we're like more motivated. Quite frankly, actually, maybe the team does less on those than they do on the ones we have to retain without any sort of equity.
Yeah.
Because the business owner applies less effort in those situations because they don't look at it as a partner telling them that they should do these things too.
Yes. Well, yeah, like, dude, 100%, man. And dude, look, again, it comes down to the relationship. It comes down to how you set the table. Look, if I own a piece of your company, you can't tell me to fuck off.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
End of story.
Like, I mean, you can, but it's probably not going to have the desired outcome. And to be honest with you, we would never do business with anyone like that anyways. You know, like we are 100% relationship first. Like if I can't imagine, if this guy is not somebody I could go out and, have a iced tea with, because I don't drink, then, then, I wouldn't do a deal anyways.
Yeah.
It's totally about aligning incentives and aligning people to a specific achievable result, a goal that you can both, because look, does it really matter? Like, this is the thing, and again, it's all about framing. It's all about the conversation that you have. It's like, look, could you imagine if a client came in and you said like, hey man, 80% of business are going to fail. Like 80% of e-commerce businesses fail, right? I'm your best chance to actually make this happen. Different conversation.
Yeah. Right.
As opposed to me going, how can I get $3,000, like, no. Like, look, you want to work with Weekend because we're the #1 growth agency in the world. You want to work with Weekend because we've generated $63 million in the last 24 months. You want to work with Weekend because we do next level content and we put our fucking money where our mouth is. That's why you want to work with Weekend. And I want to work with you because you're an incredible person. You have an incredible product. You have a great idea that hasn't realized its full potential yet. And I want to be the catalyst for us to reach that potential together. And I want to be a part of this because with us as a team, locking arms, going the same direction, we're going to make exponentially more money than you could make by yourself and I could make by myself. And guess what? At the end, when this sells, when we realize the journey that we've both been on, everybody wins. And in a perfect scenario, we go do it again. Right?
Yeah.
Different.
In none of these deals is your equity based on a contingency.
So we don't do anything that doesn't vest immediately. Some portion of equity vests day one.
Mm-hmm.
We will not. I don't do any. Look,
at least some.
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, what? There's no point to give you a discount then. Then
Yeah,
just
yeah.
pay my fee.
Yeah.
You know? And look, and we have a lot of clients that just, you know, pay us a normal client retainer relationship. And frankly, most businesses are not businesses I'm interested in or want to be a part of. Like, nor do I see that they have the potential to be acquired, right? But when we do come across those are the ones that we're looking at. How do we get a piece of the action, and how do we grow it together? Back to the agency. Look, every fucking agency owner wants to be an e-com owner, and every fucking e-com owner wants to be an agency owner.
So funny.
Right?
It's so right.
It's a pretty funny paradox, right? That exists in our space. And, you know, look, I could guarantee you on Saturday, if I went and I asked the crowd and I said, hey, if I could pay you exactly what you want for your business right now, how many people here would sell? If you threw out a number that, like, a legitimate number for your business, that's like it's like legit, it makes sense, like on paper it makes sense, and you could sell your business tomorrow, whatever that number is, like not some fucking 10x bullshit, like some 25x, some SaaS company valuation, like a 3x, 4x on EBITDA, SDE, profit, right? How many of you would sell? I would argue that most people would probably sell immediately. They probably sell tomorrow.
In a real situation, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Like check in front of them, they're taking it.
100%. Okay. Well, how about this? How about I give you a way for you to make more money than you've ever made before? Because right now you're an agency owner that's doing $1.2 million a year. You're paying yourself $80,000 a year, $120,000, $150,000 a year. You can't find the right talent. You offer one service. Your client turnover shit. You have some things that you're excellent at, but most of what you do is just okay. Well, let me ask you a better question. What if I could keep you in your zone of influence? And we're going to make up a hypothetical situation. Let's just say they're an incredible salesperson, okay? Because most agency owners are great salespeople, right? And very smart marketers, okay? What if I could come in as your partner, and this is what I want to do. I want to acquire 80% of your agency, okay? You are doing $1.2 million a year. You're doing $200,000 a year in profit, but that $200,000 a year in profit is going in your pocket, right? Okay. Well, what I would like to do is I would like to come in and I actually want to buy 80% of your business, and I actually just want to shut down your business. I want to close it down, and I want to start a new business with you, and it's called Weekend Georgia. Weekend Alpharetta, or whatever the fuck. What city are we in?
Alpharetta.
Okay, right? And what I want to do is I want to put you only focused on the thing that you're absolutely incredible at. And I want to come in and I want to take all of your existing contracts, and I want to come in and I want to sell all of the other services that I have to your existing contracts, okay? From my experience so far, and it's, again, limited, most of these people are undervaluing what they do. They have shit contracts. Like, dude, some of the agencies that I've seen, like, they don't even do contracts, which is fucking mind-blowing. Dude, I do a 6-month contract if you want to work with me. 6 months. Tell me anybody that's done anything in any business in 30 days that fucking makes sense.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Ever.
It's hilarious because it happens. People will come in 30 days and be like, this isn't working. It's like, dude, we haven't even really started.
Bro, it takes 30 days just to onboard you as a client.
It takes me 2 weeks just to understand your business fully because you don't even understand it.
And even in 2 weeks, I don't even have a really even beginning to scratch the surface. I mean, right? Like, it's the whole, like, when's the last time that you hired an employee, right? Unless they're absolute garbage, it takes 6 months for someone to even be decent.
Yeah.
It takes a year for someone to even be good.
It took us 6 months to feel the effects of a CFO, like fully.
Right.
Like really impact the entire company.
Right. So right. And so taking those analogies and applying them to, a client relationship, right? So, okay, let's get back to the agency thing. Okay. So what I want to do, though, you're a great salesperson. You've obviously built a business, but we're talking, like, first of all, We have to establish it's not like I'm going like, hey, like these are people that are reaching out. I want to sell my company. So these are people that have already been they're already over the agency game. And look, man, I'll tell you, look, in the agency space, look, we've been in this for a minute. Everybody gets over the agency space, right? It takes that one dude to say the one thing and you're like, fuck this. Why am I fucking doing this, right? So, but what I propose is that instead of you doing that, I want you to be what you're excellent at. I want you to do sales, and I want you to do it for Weekend Georgia. And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to come in, and we're going to start Weekend Georgia, and we're going to renegotiate every single contract that you have, and I'm going to personally renegotiate those contracts with you. And this is how it's going to go. You do Facebook ads, you're charging $2,000 a month and some percentage of spend. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to come in, and provided that it's the right client, right? Because a lot of times the clients will we don't want them as clients.
Most of these small agencies, though, aren't most of their clients really unqualified and shit?
I would say yes, but not the ones that we're talking to.
Okay.
You know, like
if you're actually going to acquire an agency, it's going to be a pretty decent one.
If anybody's coming on the Weekend team, they're a fucking rock star at what they do. Like, I don't fuck with anybody.
But then why aren't they winning alone? Back to your original point.
Well, because it's hard to win alone, right?
But rock stars win alone.
Yeah, but rock stars get to $1.2 million and never get past it. You know why? Because they need more rock stars.
Yeah, they need a band.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Right? They I love that. They need a band. Dude, that's a great line. That's a great line. Somebody write that shit down.
Luckily we're recording this.
Deal with that one.
Yeah, no.
Luckily we're recording this.
Yeah, no. But dude, that's the point. I mean, dude, you would be surprised the people that I talk to, that like when I share the vision, dude, and you know, my vision's crystal clear. Like when when they hear my passion and when they hear how clear what I'm doing, they realize that, dude, like I'm not even thinking anywhere in the realm of what this guy's thinking. I want to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can come into a scenario where a dude is like been busting his ass for 3 years and he's barely making 120K and he's over it, he doesn't know how to grow, he doesn't have the right infrastructure, and I can go, hey, well, guess what? Right now your business is worth basically a 1.5x. This is what I'm going to do. 200K? Really? So 300K? How about this? How about I pay you 500K for your business? I'm going to pay you over the next 3 years, okay? Contingent upon me being able to renegotiate all of your contract, okay? I'm also going to put you on salary, your existing salary, okay? Same salary that you have right now, but instead, every new piece of business that you bring in, I'm going to give you 5% override on, and you get every single month for as long as it's a client. So now you're incentivized to retain, and all you got to do is be excellent at what you do. And then I'm going to come in and we're going to look at your organization employee by employee, and we're going to weed out the wieners, and we're going to keep all the winners, okay? And we're going to weed out the bad, and we're going to keep the good. And because I have an office in the Philippines, and I have an office in Romania, and I have 2 offices in Sacramento, and I'm about to open an office in New York, and because I have 100+ employees that are all really, really good at what they do, I'm going to bring my infrastructure to your business now. So now your business that didn't have the support that it needed to be successful now has a getting pretty well-oiled machine behind it, right? To help facilitate this growth, right? And so what we're going to do over the next 3 years is we're going to increase your sales by 3x, we're going to increase your earnings by 5x, and we're going to double the business, right? So that way we can sell this new asset, Weekend Georgia, for a 10x multiple. And guess what also happens? Now, because Weekend Digital is part owner in Weekend Georgia, right? I'm your business partner. When I
majority, right?
Yeah.
80 now, 80-20?
Yeah. Right? Well, no, but here's the other thing. I also forgot to mention this. By the way, if you are exceptional at what you do, I'm also going to allow you to get up to 50% of the new entity back through performance. Okay? So then we'll be 50-50 partners in a new entity. You're going to have all my support. You're going to have my HR. You're going to have everything. You're going to have a fucking full-blown team behind you to get you to your goal, right? And you personally, within the next 3 years, if you're not personally making at least $1 million a year, you're doing something wrong, and I probably don't want to be in business with you anyways. Right?
Yeah.
That's the pitch, man, right? Because at the end of the day, most people can't tell you what they want for their lives 10 minutes out. And if I can come into a scenario and paint a picture of for you to how to get, because look, here's the other thing. You know, everybody's goals are so different that, you know, one guy is like, oh, I want to make $1 million a year. Another guy, what a lot of money to him is 30 grand a month. Okay, well, I can get you to 30 grand a month. It's easy. And not only can I get you to 30 grand a month, I can get you there like in the next fucking probably 6 months with none of the headache that you're currently existing, with none of the payroll, with none of the insurance, with none of the liability, with none, and all you got to do is come into my organization and be a part of the A-team. And you know what I want? I want the guy that's going to come in and fucking blend with the team to build a brain trust where we can get better as a team, right? You can plug into my organization and we can all win.
So question from a financing standpoint.
Sure.
Not financing, but from finances. Let's say you have weekend, Florida, New York, Sacramento, blah, 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 5 weekends, right?
Yeah.
All 80-20 splits, let's call it.
Mm-hmm.
Financially, how does it work when they start like sharing clients? How have you guys kind of set that up, right? Like you're switching, you know, Atlanta might be doing, you know, TikTok ads, for example. Correct me if I'm, this is kind of the setup. Sacramento, for example, does content, let's say. So how does that all fold into the one?
It's a new branch.
Umbrella?
It's a new branch, right? So everything's going to flow through the new branch, right? So dude, it's like you have your existing company, right? But now the finances are going to flow through the mothership. The finances go to the new entity, right? But then they go to the new entity to the mothership.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is like, are you sharing projects across different entities?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
Are. Okay, so
that's the whole purpose. The whole purpose is that, dude, if you don't got creative, now you got creative. If you don't got, and here's the thing, keep in mind, most of the agencies that I'm speaking with are single trick ponies.
Yeah, I know, it makes sense.
Right.
That's
You
what
them.
you were saying is like, how do you have good communication across all the different branches, kind of? Like if you have like the content,
I'll tell
team
you,
over
he's
here,
sitting right
No,
there.
I think
that's
what Eddie's asking is basically, if Sacramento's doing the content, then how is that getting invoiced?
Yes, and
Weekend
then
Georgia?
how are they meshing as well?
Yeah.
Like I understand meshing.
So when you
I understand turning everyone into one company.
Yes,
Right? I get
so-
that. Like your dashboards, your systems, your SOPs, they're all the
Yes.
same. Everyone's treated the same.
it's
the
almost
same
like a
onboarding.
franchise.
Exactly. I understand.
well, that's exactly what it is.
Exactly. I'm 100% on the same page.
And it's fucking genius, right?
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It really is.
It-
Baby, let's fucking go.
so financially speaking, you're asking that's my question. So what is that answer? Like exactly what you just said.
So ask
the
a
invoicing
question.
work?
Yeah, how does invoicing work in that situation
So-
financially?
so-
Like I'm Bob and I own 20% of Atlanta.
You're invoicing Weekend Georgia. It goes to Georgia. Goes from
But
Georgia.
I guess if there's one client, do they pay out to those 5?
I already get
branches and then
what
they go to the
you're
main?
saying. I get what you're saying.
yeah, it's all the same shit.
Client all goes to the same place and then same place
dude. It just
disperses
it
to
flows.
locations.
It flows through. And look,
So it's not a franchise. That's what I'm saying. Like a franchise is
Well-
they take the income and then income
Well, they-
goes to mothership.
Yes,
but
they-
mothership takes income then disperses to locations.
no. They pay the location. The location pays the mothership, right? And the goal is actually for this asset to be as valuable as possible. Ideally, the goal is that if I see what you're saying, yes, it would have to be parsed up to if like we're doing content, yes, but if I'm going in and renegotiating the contract and I'm adding creative and whatever,
Yeah.
if you don't have creative's being done by
100% I get it. But they're paying one bill.
yes, one
and
bill.
that is to mothership
No, that is to location.
location. So I'm
Location
Whichever
is-
location was the first.
Okay, I'm
contact.
Atlanta. I close the deal.
Yep.
I'm great at Google Ads.
Yep.
We need to do.
And then I come in and I say,
you
hey,
do content, email.
and I'm gonna add content and email,
Mhm.
right? And whatever we determine as business partners is the fee for that whatever. After your commission, I pay your commission you get on the total amount. Doesn't matter what it is, right? The leftovers based off of whatever the predetermined amount is going to go to the mothership. Make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So whatever mothership is charging for the rest of the services then gets paid to mothership from location.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. 12-13. Goddamn.
So
yeah.
are you?
That's why we said we couldn't knock out a short podcast.
But
this is awesome.
No, but this is very interesting.
Yeah.
It's like this is what
I have to pee so bad.
This is
I'm gonna
what-
jump out for a second pee.
I told my
Tankles.
partners and Andrew, maybe, and like obviously way later than you guys started, but like maybe like 8 months ago, I was like, we need to start acquiring agencies because it's the only way that this is gonna make sense.
Yeah.
Because incubating talent takes time. There's like
It's
no
the number
shortcut.
one reason to acquire the number one reason to acquire agencies is for talent.
That's it. That's like
That's it.
that's the issue.
Bro, it's the only way to grow a big agency
Mhm.
because everybody who's good is doing their own shit or they work for somebody who's really good doing their own shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I could never go out and hire a guy like you. The only way I could get a guy like you is by buying your company.
That exactly. I get it.
You know what I mean?
No, I understand. And you want guys like me.
Absolutely.
That's the
I
whole point.
want you, man. Yeah. Week in Georgia. Here we go, baby. But here's the thing. I also want to be very clear. The structure is determined by the individuals making the deal. At the end of the day, man, look, my goal in acquiring an agency, it's not just about the assets. That's just one. To be quite frank with you, the assets are actually the least important part of the deal because assets come and go. Right? If I bought your company today, 6 months from now, probably a third of your clients may not even exist. They'll probably churn. They'll you know what I mean? Like that's the agency. We're in the service space. Like people who make it beyond the 1 year mark is rare, right?
I mean, that's the truth at the end of the day.
It is.
We have a lot of like 1, 2, 3 year people at this point, but like we've lost a ton of
That's just the game, man.
6 month, 3 month,
That is
2 month
that is
people
never
along the way.
that is never not going to be the case.
That's
Because
just the reality.
That's just the reality of the.
Because back to the original point, partner versus marketing agency, different ball game.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So that's just the function of doing. But that's called the service business, right? Like you lose more than you win, and the goal is to not, lose all the way, right?
Yeah. And are you acquiring local lead gen agencies at all, or only
I'm not doing anything
e-commerce
like that.
based?
I'm only doing 100% direct to consumer e-commerce. The goal, the weekend ecosystem that we're focused on our core competencies, and then we're focused on we want to acquire 3PLs because we think that's going to be major, and that's a super profitable.
Now I understand why you said that.
Yeah, absolutely. We also want to.
I love that.
Yes, 3PLs, design agencies, accounting firms, like kind of the things that I mentioned to you.
Yeah.
Like the things that can make a major impact in a business that I can also leverage at economies of scale to keep my costs low and keep my profits high, right? Services that make sense when I'm going into the marketplace to grow an asset to make a fuck ton of money, right? So everything that we do is with a purpose. And every deal that we close is with an individual that will serve a purpose to drive the end result. Like I'm not in the business of acquiring agencies because I just want to.
Because you want to catch them all.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to do something massive. Every battle is won before it's fought, right? You don't win championships with a fucking third string. Like you don't do big things in this world. Like you look at any biography that you read. You look at all the greats, man. Like you know what they say. Like, dude, I'm just the guy that had the vision. It's the team that got us there.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
And so if I want to have a multi-billion-dollar valuation, if I want to have a $500 million exit in the next 5 years, I need the best people in the space on my team, all focused on the same goal, going the same direction, with the same drive so that we can achieve that goal. And so for me, sacrifice is it's always a part of the game. Like I could give a fuck. Like my job in trying to acquire someone's agency is not to take all the money. It's to find individuals who can buy into the vision, the big picture, who are, listen, money focused. Like yes, we want to make a lot of money, but not because we just want to make a fucking lot of money. We want to make a lot of money so we can have the life that we want, right? So that we can do the things that we want to do with our family. So we can do the things that we really want to do in this world, right? And to do that, what the way that you get a agency deal done is for me to understand, hey, what is important to Eddie? What does Eddie want for his life? What are Eddie's goals? What does Eddie want in 5 years? How can me, Tommy Patterson, now as Eddie's business partner, make that a reality, right? Because successful partnerships are about understanding that the other person on the side of the table, whatever that guy wants, my mission and my purpose is to make that a reality for him so that the inverse of that is the same for him, for I, right? Because my goals should be his mission and his drive and his purpose. And so when you begin with the end in mind and you get crystal clear about how to help someone else get what they want, it's not really hard for you to get a deal done, because you go into the relationship with, how can I serve this person? How can I help this person get what he wants?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm on the same page on that. I think that the most impressive thing to me is the talent of acquisition side of it, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that can shorten this timeline and buy actual time back. Because like even in our case, I told this to the whole team last year. I said, listen, like a lot of people here did something different that were strategically placed into the role that they're in, that they maybe didn't do 12, 13 months ago. But there are people on this team that were doing the same thing 5 years ago. And so like, yeah, we basically spent that time incubating those really talented and smart people into a better fit for that specific role in the e-com space to build that team out, essentially. Yeah. But you're skipping that timeline of like, it takes a guy literally 4 to 5 months at least to become really fucking good and understand.
Dude,
like,
and I would argue like a year.
I know. I'm talking like
years.
I'm talking hardcore, like bare minimum. Like it's the point where you feel like, okay, he's having like very advanced conversations, I guess. But you're buying 4 or 5 years of experience.
Absolutely. And more importantly, I'm aligning incentives. You know, dude, again, most of these people don't know what they want to do, and they don't have an end goal that they're solving for. And if I can, does it sound good to you if I go, hey, you're absolutely incredible at what you do. I want you to be a part of this mission. I want you to be a part of my vision. And guess what? My goal in 5 years is to sell the mothership for $500 million. And guess what? Weekend Digital is going to own 50% of Weekend Georgia. And guess what? If you get Weekend Georgia to $10 million a year, $5 million a year, which you and let's just say a 20% EBITDA, right? Well, in that scenario, you'd probably go for 3-4x, right? Well, if I'm doing agency arbitrage,
you're going 8 to 12x.
You're going 10 to 15. You're going now what you do over here, and this is why I love this model, is because it still puts the onus on the individual, right? Because this individual still has to perform for them to reap the reward. They just now have the support system and the talent that they never had before to make it a reality. And that's what everybody says that they want and they need. And now I'm giving them what they want and they need and the opportunity to achieve everything that they want to get. And I'm giving this to them and helping them do it. It's a complete win for everyone.
That's amazing. So what's your goals this year in regards to agency acquisition?
So the goal this year and every year for the next 3 years is 12 a year. And I think that's very ambitious for us because, again, I've been doing this for 6 months officially. But I think that if I had to wager money, we'll probably get somewhere between 6 to 8 done this year. But I think we're going to get excellent at it. And this is e-commerce brands and agencies.
Yeah.
But I think that this time next year, I could probably be doing one of these a month.
Yeah. Probably even more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, man, it's not that.
But that's why I'm so mind blown that you did 9 in 5 months.
Yeah. Well, that's
like now
agency
you're saying
and
do
e-coms.
9 in a year.
Yeah, but that's e-com and agencies, right?
What?
So that's
the
e-commerce
9.
brands and agencies.
Is that what you just said you're gonna do too? You said e-com and agencies.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, but that's 9 plus 9, so that's 18.
Oh, 18. Okay, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 12 agencies a year.
Okay, it makes sense.
12 e-commerce brand. One a month is the goal. So the goal is in the
One
next
a month of each.
So the goal is in the next 5 years to have at least 30 to 50 e-commerce brands under. And look, it's ambitious, yes.
No, it's very
Totally
realistic.
doable though.
Totally way more easily doable
But
than
the
you'll
thing
even think
the
it is.
thing that you I know that, man.
Yeah.
This is actually super. It's not difficult at all.
Not at
I
all.
think that the thing that you can't really factor for is the right brand going to be there?
Yeah.
Is the right brand going to which is why acquiring the agencies makes so much sense, because you know what acquiring the agencies does?
Shortcuts to brands.
Shortcuts to brands. Now we got more deal flow.
Yeah.
Now I got more conversations. Now I have more opportunities
Yeah.
to go find what I want. We started, Kyle, dude, he's fucking gangster. He sold his lead gen company a few years ago. Dude, we started cold email outreach. We started it 3 months ago for e-com acquisitions. Dude, I mean, we're getting 200 booked appointments a month. Is that about right?
200 a month.
That's insane.
Yeah,
guys.
and now
Nuts.
we just launched it for agencies. Now we're gonna launch it for 3PLs.
Wow.
We're gonna have a lot of conversations with people. And look, again, hey, I want to be super clear with everybody who's watching this that, look, I'm just a guy who's fucking going for it. That's it.
Yeah.
No difference between me, you, anyone in this room. I'm just going for it. And you know what? I'm smart enough and intelligent enough to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it's not that difficult. And repetition is the mother of skill. The more that you do something, the better you become at it, then you become the expert. And so if you want to have exponential growth, you want to grow faster than everybody else, well, that means you need to fail faster than everyone else. And that's what we're doing. We're going hard. We're going in the paint over and over and over and over and over again till we become the best in the world and win the championship.
Yeah. It's amazing. So 5-year timeline, you said?
5 years.
I love it, bro.
I'm going to be out this bitch in 5 years.
Wow. Thank you for sharing all that, by the way. And I've been very...
I'm sorry I was hogging it.
Yeah,
Dude.
we talk about no growth engine.
But it was worth it, though. It was a very
100%.
good conversation, very unique. What's the guy's name again? Spencer Lane? Is that what you said?
Peter Lang
Peter
and Roland Frazier, Epic. There's listen, M&A's been around.
I understand.
Like there's
But
lots.
like agency-specific M&A.
Yeah, but it's all the same shit. Dude, like, listen, mergers and acquisitions is the same across. It's
enough.
no different than anything else. This is not a new concept. It's just a complex one that most people. And here's what I would also say. This is not for the faint of heart. You can't be half pregnant about this shit. Like I literally made Lucas like basically interim CEO, president of Weekend right now, so I can focus on this. Like we're like I'm restructuring my whole agency so that this can be my main focus is growing e-com brands and acquiring, right?
Yeah.
So this is not something you can willy-nilly, right? Like this is something that you got to make a decision that this is how I'm going to approach my agency business. We're still doing the client thing. We're bringing on clients. Like that's a part of the game. And that's why the arbitrage gets so, bro, like check it, right? We had this conversation earlier. Not a lot of 8-figure agencies in the space, right? But here's a simple concept. Could you imagine that if you just acquired one agency a quarter, is doing $2 million a quarter, you're growing $8 million a year, organically growing 20 million or 20% every year. You do that every single year. Like in 3 years,
you'll be at 150 million.
Well, not if you're doing one a quarter, but yes, but that's but
I'm talking one a month.
Yes,
like
well, absolutely, and that
20% growth, one a month.
And then the compound effect taking into that, like that's actually how you can make this a reality. And dude, it's not fucking hard. You just got to do it. You just got to have the fucking balls, to go for it and make it happen.
So I think it's time to end this, but I've there's a really cool way to end it. And I kind of feel like you gave yours way earlier in the podcast. So you stopped and I was like, that's it. That was it right there. So maybe it was it, maybe it's not. But we asked all our guests to basically, if they were to give them their younger self or someone like in their shoes, 5-10 years ago, a fortune cookie with one thing inside of the fortune cookie that you would hope that they could read and like understand this thing and it would change the course of their life, what would you tell them? It doesn't have to be about business. It could be about life, personal, relationship, whatever it is.
Focus on the journey, not on the outcome.
Okay. And you?
Sure, that's tough.
Love more, judge less.
Don't go to that hotel in Las Vegas.
Don't go to the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh, God.
Don't go to Club Rehab.
Don't go to club rehab. Just go to rehab.
Exactly. Man.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Is that the one we're going to stick to? That's it?
Yeah, I would just give Tommy the fortune cookie.
Cool. Tommy gave it to
Tommy
fortune.
ate fortune cookies.
But
I love
if
it.
someone wants to connect with you, like talk about getting acquired, where should they go? If someone wants to work with you, where should they go?
Yeah. Tommy Patterson, at Tommy Patterson on Instagram, at Tommy Patterson on Twitter, weekenddigital.com, weekendinvestments.com, Weekend CMO on Instagram, Brandon.
Yep.
Brandon
And
Fink.
it's WKND.
And it's WKND Digital.
No E's in this.
And
bitch.
then we got
No.
Kyle Hunt, Mr. Kyle Hunt, which is Kyle X Hunt, right? At Instagram. Yeah.
Weekend strategy.
Weekend Kyle.
Yeah, and he's
Weekend
our
Kyle.
he's our business partner.
Weekend Hunt because
in,
he's hunting the acquisition.
in Weekend Investments. And yeah, man, look, we love helping people. Like I love talking about this shit. I'm very passionate about this. Like, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, look, there's so much opportunity in this space. Like, this is the sad part about our industry, and I think that this is a good way to close too. Like no matter what I do, no matter what you do, no matter what you do, no matter what everybody in this room does, it's impossible for all of us to get all the business. Competition is an illusion. At the end of the day, great business is done with people that you know, like, and trust. And when it comes down to getting a deal done, they're going to do it with the person that they believe is going to get them the result. So don't worry about what other people are doing. Focus on being excellent. Focus on being the best in the world at what you do. Focus on helping others get what they want, because you will ultimately get everything that you want.
I love it. Thank you, bro.
Great way to end
Thank
it
you for
out.
making it out here. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Yep. Love it, man. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the 4Media Uncut podcast. If you want to work with us, learn with us, or even join the team and be a part of what we're doing at 4Media Marketing, just go to our website. It's 4media.marketing. No .com, no .net, .marketing, because that's all we do around here. And most importantly, share this with a friend wherever you're listening to or watching this on. Please hit that share button, send it over to a friend, someone else that you think will get value out of this. It would mean the world to us.
And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like this video and comment down below any suggestions for future guests. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please rate this 5 stars and leave us a review there. That helps us tremendously in the algorithm world. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of 4Media Uncut Podcast.